Hey everybody. Hey Pablo.
How you doing, Mel?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing great.
That's good. I heard you were over in Colombia having a good time.
I am live in Medellin, Colombia as we speak.
I'm jealous. How's the weather out there?
It is called the City of Eternal Spring. So it's always in the 70s and 80s almost year round. Every now and then it'll dip down into the 60 somethings and they'll call that cold. You'll see everybody bundled up with jackets and shivering uh, like it's Minneapolis or something like that. But yeah,
It's crazy. You hear that, fellas? It's nice weather over there. Nice girls. Nice beaches.
year
I'm
round,
pretty sure. Right?
year round.
All year round. So
So
definitely
wait a
here.
minute. I saw a comment. I saw a comment.
Hmm. Where at?
Rashad Rashad Lewis
Hmm.
applied for my passport, but I'm not going to be a passport bro. I want a passport for possible future travels. I should get a passport. What exactly do you mean, Rashad, by I'm not going to be a passport bro?
Right.
What
Well, that was. I'm
what
sorry.
does that mean to you?
Because I was gonna ask you, that was one of my first questions. What exactly is a passport bro? Because I've heard other people say that as well. Like, hey, I travel, but I don't consider myself a passport bro.
All
Can you
right. Would
explain
you
to
like to
us?
hear the history? Would you like to
Right.
hear the history of
Yes, please. We would love to hear the history.
how the term passport bro got started? So, years ago, I want to say this is 2015, sometime between 2015 and 2016, I was on Obsidian's channel, and the topic, it was brought up by a young lady by the name of Renaissance Woman was her name back then. She left the manosphere and the black YouTube and all that. She just couldn't take it no more.
Right.
Um, but Renaissance Woman was talking about, the emerging appearance of these black men who are marrying foreign women. I happened to be one of those at the time. And
Hmm.
so she was going in her bag with the usual shaming tactics, the usual slurs, oh, they just want a green card and, blah, blah, blah.
Hmm.
And, oh, you must be weak that you can't get a woman here and, the usual stuff. And so they were going back and forth on this panel. And I ended up getting on the panel and saying, hey, if you would like to talk, I have a whole group, a whole Facebook group at the time. It was called American Black Men Married to Foreign Women. Still have the group now. At the time, we had less than 100 members. Now we're somewhere around 300.
Wow.
So, so at that time, I was like, why are you talking about us and not talking to us? Because this was like the second or the third time that she had brought it up. And I said, look, if you want to talk to us, come talk to us. I got 5 or 6 guys that I can bring on to talk to you about it if that's what you want to talk about. And
Right.
so she said, okay, fine. I said, well, give me your email. She gave me her email. I sent her an email. She did not respond. I sent her another email. She did not respond. I then told Obsidian, I've reached out to Ren about the discussion we had on your panel. If you would like to interview me and my group of guys from American Black Men Married to Foreign Women, you are welcome to. I will give you the first choice. He said, first chance. He said, bet. I said, okay. I will reach out to Ren one more time. I did, no response. Boom. We were on Obsidian's live stream on a show. This was, like I said, back in 2005, 2016. And he spontaneously uttered the word, we have here the passport bros. And that was it.
Wait, so that's how it came?
That's how it came. Obsidian actually coined the term the Passport Bros that night on his channel.
Wow, I did not
But it
know
was
that.
a group of it was originally for a group of married men who married women from foreign countries. Not sex tourists, um not sex tourists, not any of that other stuff.
Oh my goodness. I thank you for that. I did not know that.
So that's how it came about.
Okay, so Rashad, you know,
Joey Five, hold on, let me respond to Joey Five. Joey, I stand by what I said. I have not changed my opinion. My opinion stands the same.
what did he say? He,
He's saying you can be blue pill for overseas. Well, I don't know about hoes. Hoes, no. No, you cannot be blue pill for overseas hoes. No, you can't. You're right.
no,
I will submit to that. But anyway, I digress. Um,
right.
so anyway, yeah, that is how the term passport. So I'm trying to figure out what Rashad meant by he's not a passport, bro. What exactly do you mean by that?
Oh,
But anyway,
so maybe he meant he's not married to a woman. He's not planning on marrying a woman, but he do want to travel.
you want to travel. Well, I don't know. I guess I think what I'm getting at is that some people want to attach some negative connotation to something that's just normal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it
I
is
mean,
normal.
people travel all over the globe for many reasons.
Right.
Um, People travel all across the globe for money,
Mm-hmm.
for safety. Some people can't live where they come from. They'll be killed. It's called a political asylum. They leave because they don't want to get their ass whipped.
Right. Well, let me ask you this.
So my question is this to the audience and to people. Why is it okay for people to come to our country seeking money, seeking safety, seeking all types of different freedoms that they don't have? And now I've even known gay and lesbian people to flee and leave their country because it's not accepted, and they come here because it is. So
Mm,
why is it okay for them to leave their countries and come to us, but it's not okay for us to leave their countries and go to get something that we're missing?
you know what?
No one's ever been able to answer that.
That's a really good question. When I open the panel, guys, please come up and answer that because I that's a great way to put it. If they can come over here and make more money and build up houses and wealth, why can't the black man go overseas and do the same thing with the money they have here? Because the money that they have when you go overseas, tell me if I'm right, Pablo, or wrong, is worth a lot more.
Oh yeah, you can get your money goes a lot further. You can do a lot more. Matter of fact, I was just watching a video today on Zoom to Thailand, and they got about 4 or 5 black guys that own bars and restaurants in Thailand,
Wow, and they're probably rich too over there.
in Pattaya, in one city, Pattaya. That don't count the ones that are in Bangkok and the other little city that they got down there that people go to. I forgot the
Right.
name of it, but yeah. And you got Mr. Flip Flop and a couple of other guys in Sosua Puerto Plata that own bars and restaurants. So, and here in Medellin, we have at least 2 more. We have Sweet George's Cafe, and then you got Crocs and Rhinos that are
Right.
owned by Americans. So, American men. So, hey, what's the problem? Why we can't
Exactly.
do it? Whether it's women or business or money or whatever it is,
Well,
I don't see the problem.
right. Well, let me ask you this. What did you start traveling for? What was your main reason?
The first trip I ever took was to Brazil. The first trip I
Mhm.
ever took, I went to a town called Sierra Fortaleza, Brazil. And
Mhm.
you can remove Rashad's comment now.
Oh, sorry. Okay. Hey, everybody. Peace to the chat. I see you, Sexy Red. Thanks for coming to support.
So the first international trip I took was to Brazil. And the experience I had was very much like Austin Holloman. It was life changing. I actually went to visit a woman. Yes, a Brazilian woman who invited me.
Well, how did
Invited being
how did
invited
you?
being. Remember MySpace?
Oh yeah, really?
Yeah, yeah. We met on MySpace, but she was working in the U.S. for a hotel. This was back when hotels were beginning to put all of their bookings and stuff online,
Mm.
right? So she was helping
Mhm.
these different hotels. She worked for this four-star hotel in Brazil, and so she was setting up these you know booking engines for different hotels in the U.S. so that they can have online booking. So she invited me. I met her on MySpace. She invited me to. I said, "Yeah, I've always wanted to visit Brazil." She said, "Okay, well." She said, "Come on." She said, "I work for a hotel. I get you a discount." I said, "Really?" She said, "Yeah." I stayed in a four-star hotel. I mean, top of the line for like $400 for 2 weeks.
That's crazy.
Yeah, four-star hotel. I mean, the service was so good. I mentioned to the bellhop that I wanted some ice cream. He went to the. I was going to go to the. He saw me coming out the room. He asked me where was I going. I said, "Oh, I'm going to get some ice cream." He said, "No, no, no. I got you." He said, "I'll get it." He left, went down to the corner store, bought the ice cream, and bought it back.
Wow. So it sounds
And I
to me
gave
like
him
the people are much nicer there too.
absolutely everybody smiles at you, speaks. It's a whole different world. It's a more social environment, more
Mhm.
socially friendly. A woman will meet you in the club and the same night if she like you, she'll be kissing you on the dance floor.
Wow. And they sincerely, genuinely like you. It's not like they just want
No,
to.
it's not. It's not make believe.
Right. Because
It's not.
hmm? I'm sorry, I didn't hear
No,
you.
yeah, it's not make believe.
It's not make believe, it's real life, huh?
No, but they do it
Now,
to other men too, other Brazilian men too.
oh yeah, so it's not just so they don't just jump to the flock to the American men. They're like that with all men.
That, that's just how it is. Yeah.
Right. Because you know what they like to say, the haters and the sisterhood, they like to say you guys go over there to trick. They don't really want you. They want you for your money. What will you say to those people who think that about going overseas?
What I will say to them, particularly the men, is go and see for yourself and come back and tell me if I'm lying. If I'm lying, all of this internet stuff about passport bros certainly wouldn't be going on. Somebody would have came back and said them niggas lying, and it hasn't
Right.
happened yet.
True. Yeah, because they're like, yeah, why, these women over here, looking at you guys like prey. Like I want the money and I want the wealth that comes along with these American men. I want to be able to go back to America and live free. This is what I
Well,
just recently heard that on somebody's channel hating on
let me ask you this.
passport.
Let me ask you this: do American women want men who are successful and have money?
Absolutely.
Uh, Okay.
So
Okay. Well, where's the difference? What's the what do American women have some monopoly on sincerity?
yeah,
Can two things be true at the same time? Can a woman want a successful man and still like the man at the same time?
of course.
Okay.
Well, there you have it. You answered that question. So to all the haters, he's saying that this is not all the women want. And plus, all the women are not dirty foots.
Well, think about this. Think about this. Their women want to get married and have a family too. They got a lot of single women too who don't have a partner, and their men aren't marrying them.
Right.
Now what? Here's the reality. There are more women in the world than there are men.
Hmm.
That's just a biological fact that exists in almost every country in the world. There are more women than there are men. There will not be enough men to go around.
Correct.
And to behave like you don't realize that reality, to me, is puzzling, because these other women realize it. They're like, no, these these guys are rare. They are rare. You guys, I don't know, for American women, for whatever reason, maybe it's the influence of the media, they believe somehow in their mind that they can turn their nose up at guys. I don't understand it, but okay.
It's because their mothers tell them you don't need no man. You
All
good by
right,
yourself,
well,
you know?
yeah. I mean, I can't stop them. I can't make them want to. I can't make them. I understand why, because one, they have these social and financial safety nets in order to say those kinds of things.
Right. Wait, let me see.
So they don't, and so in their mind, because they have money and they can be self sufficient, they don't need a man. I get it. I get it. But ultimately, what does it lead to? It leads to what you have now, the 70% single rate among Black women. That's just kind of what it is. I get it. I mean, but
Well, we have a
I
question.
don't understand why they don't see it. That's my only thing. Why do you not see it, or do you not believe it, or do you just say the hell with it anyway?
Yeah, they probably don't want to believe it. That's what it is.
Yeah.
But we have Sexy Red. She said that's not a good argument, though. Their men don't want them. Is that what you're saying?
What I'm saying is their men aren't marrying them either. So if men appear who have wealth, uh, who have the economic and social power that the United States brings, what you guys don't realize is being an American citizen is powerful. There's power in it. I can pack up and I can go to 196 countries in the world, and they will open the door for me immediately upon landing. They won't ask me a damn question. They let me in immediately
Right.
on the strength. Most countries in the world can't do that. So that's a lot of power. And so when you're dealing with a man who has the wealth and the power of the top 15% of men in the world, other people recognize it. They recognize it. And so the issue becomes American women are so spoiled and so privileged that they can't see it.
Right.
They can't see it. Their mind can't imagine it. To them, you're just you're just a dusty.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Because we've created a society and a country and an economic system that they don't want for anything. So they feel like, well, no, I don't need to do that for you. I don't need to do nothing. You're gonna worship me. And you feel that way because you have everything. I get it. Yes, Sexy Red, you have a passport, but here's the deal. If when you leave the country, 95% of the men you go to see, you have more than you're wealthier than they are. 90% of the men you go to visit, you're wealthier than they are. And most women, they're not attracted to that. Eventually, they're going to get tired of supporting a broke dude, no matter how cute he is. Women resent it.
Right.
Yeah.
And
Let's get to the topic. Let's get to the topic.
oh, you want to? Okay, you want to get straight to the topic? No more interview questions. Okay.
We need to get straight to the topic because time is of the essence.
Okay. Well, what made you choose? All right. So the topic is: does the Black Communitah have team players left? So what made you choose that topic?
Well, I chose that topic because I was watching a football game. It was a football game. It was a football game between Jackson State and my alma mater, North Carolina Central University. Deion Sanders was the head coach, of course. And a few weeks before, Dion was preaching about I would say preaching or lecturing his team about finishing what they started, finishing their goals, finishing the season, etc. But he then goes and gets on a jet immediately after the SWAC championship game and goes to Colorado, to the University of Colorado, and takes his son, Shedeur Sanders, with him, who is the quarterback at Jackson State. Well, his son, as soon as he gets off the Learjet and lands in Colorado, throws on the University of Colorado hat. And I thought to myself, well, wait a minute. You haven't finished your season with Jackson State. You have another game left. You have the Heritage Bowl against my alma mater, North Carolina Central University, for the HBCU National Championship game. You have a Black College National Championship game to play, and you're putting on the hat of another university that you don't play for yet. How does that look to your teammates? It looks like you're not focusing on finishing the job that you already have at hand.
Right.
And many of those players will not be able to leave Jackson State and go to another school. That is their school. That is it. That is it for them. That is where they're going to play. That is where their eligibility is going to run out. And it appears to them that you're 1 foot in and 1 foot out. You're not committed to the team. You're committed to you.
So you're saying that we don't have enough team players, or
you don't
just
have
no team players?
You don't have enough team players who are committed to the team. They're committed to themselves and what they want to do.
Right.
I understand. I get it. Guess what? Shedeur Sanders is leaving Jackson State and going with his daddy to Colorado. But guess what? They lost that game. That last game they lost. Why did they lose to a team that didn't have as much talent? Because they're not as committed to the goal.
Right. So
the players on my alma mater had nowhere else to go. They were totally committed to one goal. All 50-some men on the team were committed to one goal. They weren't thinking about going to Colorado or Florida A&M or going to Florida State. They were thinking about one thing. We play for North Carolina Central. We're going to beat Jackson State ass, all 50 of them.
Right.
Jackson State, they wonder about who's going to go in the portal, who's going to leave, who's going to come, who's going to Colorado with Coach Prime, all that. So you gotta, if you're not committed to the team, how can you? Could I share?
No, yeah, do whatever you want. Sure.
So I wanted to share some of the video from the speeches of a couple of my favorite coaches about teamwork and how teamwork is important. Because if you have members of the team who are not committed, there's no way you can be successful, because they're pretty much in it for the individual glory. They're not in it to build and help the team. And this is what Black America is basically all about. We have a team full of Deion Sanders. Talented, but, and I'm not saying that's bad. I'm not saying it's a bad thing to be for yourself, but recognize when you are for yourself, guess what other people are going to do? They're going to be for themselves too.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Okay. Can I read the super chat real quick before we share it?
Yes.
Okay, so we have Gold Professor. Thank you so much, Gold Professor, for the $5 super chat. He says, money for the plate. Hey, Melody, piece of the chat, Gold Professor. Thanks for that. Appreciate it. Okay, so let me share.
Learning just was something that I told everybody at the very beginning of the week. I will not tolerate players that think it's about them when it's about the team. And we cannot make decisions that cost the team and then come off the sideline and it's nonchalant. No, you know what? This is how I believe. Okay, I'm from the old school. I believe this. I would rather play with 10 people and just get penalized all the way until we got to do something else, rather than play with 11 when I know that right now that person is not sold out to be a part of this team. It is more about them than it is about the team. I cannot play with them. Cannot win with them. Coach with them. Can't do it.
So that was Coach Mike Singletary. He's a Hall of Fame NFL football player who became a coach. And he became disgruntled at a very talented player that he had on his team, who pretty much only wanted to shine. They wanted to shine. They wanted to be the one scoring all the touchdowns. They wanted to be the one catching all the passes. But when it came time to block, they didn't want to do that. They didn't want to do the dirty work. He only wanted to get his camera time and get the glory. He didn't want to participate in the other things and activities that help the team in the long run. It was about what he could get personally, most of all, first and foremost. So to what Sexy Red said, team, I thought y'all were going abroad. Well, guess what happens when many people on your team begin to take the attitude that I don't want to do the hard thing. I don't want to do the cooking and the cleaning and the dishwashing. I ain't your slave. When people begin to take that attitude, guess what happens? The other members of the team say, you know what? I'm going to find me another team.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to find me a better team where everybody wants to contribute. That's what you see in the Passport Bros. The guys who were really wanting to be team players are now saying, you know what? They don't want to play ball. They only want to do it their way.
Right.
So I'll take my ball and go home. I'll take my talents to South Beach. I'll do a LeBron James. I will leave the Cleveland Cavaliers because the Cavaliers don't want to put a working, functioning championship team around me. So I will go to where they are willing to cooperate and give me the talent that I need to get it done. That's what you're seeing in the Passport Bros. And that's why I say, does the Communitah have team players? No, they're not interested in. They're interested in individual glory.
Yeah. So, what do you think? Advice? What will be your advice to the community? How you say Communitah to be team players?
Oh, I'm glad you said that. I am glad you said that. My second favorite, my first favorite is my cousin, Coach Mike Tomlin, the head coach of the Pittsburgh Steelers. Shout out to him. He is my favorite head coach. But my second favorite is the next gentleman I'm about to show you, who's going to show you how, he's going to tell you how you can be a team player. Are we ready?
I'm ready, but let me just read this super chat real quick. Friedman's Journal. Thank you for the $2 super chat. He says, salute Sweet Melody Media and Pablo Frescobar. Salute to you. Thanks for coming. Okay, you can go ahead.
So this next clip is Coach Bobby Bowden. R.I.P. to Bobby Bowden. He was Deion Sanders' head coach at Florida State. One of my favorite leaders of men. Coach Bobby Bowden is going to explain what it takes to win. Everybody doing their job.
Now we got to be together to win this dadgum game. Now let's go over some things. Listen to me. Defense. If they don't score, we win. And we do want to win, right? Okay, now hold it. If they don't score, we got it. Now listen, they're tied. You are too, but they're twice as tied. We need to take the kickoff and drive it for a touchdown. I think we got them. If you'll keep hitting. Now, offense, let's get that kick out of there. Might be kicking with a win. If I had a tailbacks, if you'd be fierce, you'd go right up and down the field. If you were a fierce thing, you could run up and down the field. You're opening holes up there. Get it in, go to the goal line with that dumb ball. I don't even fancy Danning. Oh, one of you tailbacks ought to tear it up. If you'll protect our passer offensive line, everybody's getting wide open. That Cadillac was wide open, and you let them get to our passer. Protect them. Make the running. The offense, we need to make the running game go. Backs don't fumble. A fumble will kill us. No fumbles. A great kicking game. A great kicking game. That's the key. Now, man, listen to me. Y'all have worked hard, and you are better than Nebraska. You are better than Nebraska. Now, listen to what I say. Are we going to let them beat us? Let's get out there and get on.
So I know it was a little loud and distorted, but let me paraphrase. Let me break down what he said exactly.
Mm-hmm.
The first thing he said was, if we play defense, if they don't score, we win. Right? So he exalted his defense. Right? If they don't score, we win. So he talked to one group and said, if they don't score, we win. Then he talked to his offensive line. Well, then he talked about the kicking game. He talked to the kicker. Hey, look, when we kick off, he talked to his special teams who was receiving the ball. He said, if we could drive the ball down there and score the first possession, I think we can win. So he talked to the offense saying, hey, let's start out good and go and move the ball down the field and go score. That way, we're going to have them psychologically. I think we can win. So he talked to the defense and the offense. Then he talked to the special teams about the kicking game, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then he talked to the running backs. He said, look, tailbacks, if you guys would hit that hole and hit it hard and stop dancing in the hole, trying not to get hit, just go hard. Just run hard. Run right through these holes we opening up. The offensive line is opening up opportunities for you to score. But you have to take advantage of it. You cannot be timid. You have to go for it, right? Mm-hmm. Then he appealed to the offensive line to pass block. He said, we have some passes open, but if you let them get to our quarterback, we can't win. You got to block. You got to work together. You got to block. So he implored each group, each man to do his job. Each person must do what their assignment is. What has happened in Black America is nobody wants to take their assignment.
Right. So do you think that means we lost completely? Like there's nothing we can do about it?
Well, you are losing. You're the Tampa Bay Buccaneers of the 1980s.
That's messed up.
You're the Washington Wizards. You're the Wizards. Yeah.
The Wizards. I guess that team sucks.
Yeah. So because of the stuff Sexy Red says, well, we ain't gonna do this and I ain't gonna do that. And I already can tell her general attitude down there. We see you, Sexy Red, but you sexy. You're gonna get by on sexy, and I understand. I understand. It's okay, but I'm just letting you know what happens when we don't have enough team players. And this is what it is. This is where we are. I'm not hating. I'm just saying this is what it is.
Yeah, he said it's over in the West. Yeah, I guess the men are leaving us. They're going to other women, better women.
So let me ask you this, Mel. Do you think there are enough team players in
No,
the community?
absolutely not. First of all, we're already losing because the weight. Everybody is overweight. So that's
Yeah.
one loss. You're over
No,
in
no,
Colombia.
everybody is not. No, 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 no. Everybody is not. Would you like for me to show you that?
Sure. Well, I'm talking about here in the West.
No.
Oh, okay.
Everybody in America is not overweight. Let me hold on.
Okay, let's see what you got there.
I'm gonna try to let
What
me
can I say?
see.
Most are overweight?
That would also be inaccurate. Give me just a second.
Okay.
Let me see here. I want to share this chart. It is the obesity chart for the United States by sex and race.
Mm-hmm.
I've shared this on numerous shows, and let me see. Here we go.
Well,
All
isn't
right.
that okay? Go ahead. You sharing it?
Can you see this chart now? This chart that I have up?
No, I can't see the chart. I don't see you.
Oh, wait a minute. Hold on.
Okay, I see it now.
Okay, wait a minute. All right. Can you see that?
Yes.
All right. Now, if you look down here at the bottom, it has total, and then it has men, and then it has women. Then in the colors, you have different racial groups. You have non-Hispanic whites in the dark blue. Non-Hispanic whites as a group total are 42% obesity in the US. That's not most. That's still a minority. Most people are not obese, right?
Mm-hmm.
And in the gray, you have non-Hispanic black
Mm-hmm.
at 49.6. That's all black people.
Okay.
49. You're almost at 50-50, but not quite. And then in the green, you have non-Hispanic Asians. Asians have the lowest obesity rate in the nation at 17.4%
Mm-hmm.
in the green. And then you have Hispanics at 44.8% obesity. That's for the total for the whole group. Now let's break it down by sex. White men are at 44.7% obesity. Non-Hispanic black men are at 41.4.
Wait. So that means white men are more
Are
obese than black. Wow, than black men.
Yes.
Okay.
Think about it, Mel. Think about all the black guys that are athletes or that work out or that go to a gym or that were in the military.
Mm-hmm.
We not
Yeah.
fat.
No.
We're the second. We are the second least fattest group in this country. The only men less fat than us are Asian men, and they're much smaller.
Mm-hmm.
They're the only group less fat than black men in America.
Yeah, they way down there at
Way down
17.5.
here, 17.5. Now let's look at Hispanic men. 45.7% are overweight. Let me ask you a question. You think black men don't have an advantage when we leave this country and we got money in our pocket and these dudes got muscles busting off their ass?
Oh, I know you guys have an advantage.
All right,
Absolutely.
stop talking. Talk to you. They talk a lot of shit about us, but these numbers don't lie. They don't lie. They don't lie. The average Colombian man here, it got a pot belly.
Oh, wait. So, all right, you're in Colombia. So, are all the women over there in shape from what you?
Yes, and you know why? But you know why their men are more like portly? Because they take care of them, they feed them, and do it. It's kind of like the reverse of the U.S. It's the reverse.
Mm-hmm.
The women are fit and sexy and all that, and the dudes is pot belly because they know they're gonna get a woman. They know they're gonna get a woman, and they're gonna take care of them. The women gotta compete, but the women got to compete. And so this is where it is. Now, let's look at the women. White women are at 39.8% obesity. That's fairly low. That's fairly low.
Yeah.
Look at black women.
I know, I'm so embarrassed. That's embarrassing.
You have 57% obesity. You have more fat people than not fat people.
Jesus, that's
more
terrible.
Black women are fat than are not fat. Think about that. More Black women are fat than are not fat. Not overweight, obese.
Yeah, that hurts.
Now, Asian women, 17.2. You have tripled up Asian women. You have doubled up white women almost. And Hispanic women are down here at the 43% range. So I don't want to hear the Black men are fat too. No, they're not. They're the least fat men in this country. Second least.
Well, yeah, I thought that Black women were 80%. 80% of Black women are overweight. That's what I hear in the States.
Right. This is obesity. This is like on some deadly, you about to have a heart attack shit. Yeah. 56, 57%.
That's sad.
So
and that's because Black women are eating McDonald's and stuff like that. That's why.
I don't. Yeah, I got nothing for that. So when I say they're not team players, they're not willing to do the things that need to be done in order to create that environment. I don't want to go to the gym. I don't want to eat a salad. I just want to eat wings and go to Popeyes and go through the drive-thru.
Mm-hmm. True. Well, real quick, because I do want to address a couple of these comments in the chat, if you don't mind. Because Sexy Red had a question for you. She said, "Do Black women work more than the other races?"
I don't know. You'd have to consult the Bureau for Labor Statistics. I don't. Most women in the U.S. work. That's just a part of the culture here. Because of the cost of living, most women who who either they're single or even if they are married work. I don't see white women laying off of work. Most of the white women I work with are, if they are married, they still got a job. So I mean, yeah, they're working. Now, if you ask a different question, if you ask, are there more women of other races who are stay-at-home mothers, then I would say yes, there are. But I still say the overwhelming majority of them still work.
Right. Well, how about single mothers? Are there a lot of single mothers over there, like there are here in America?
Yeah. As many, if not more.
So are they better? Are those single mothers over there better than the ones here?
Better in terms of what?
Well, I heard.
Okay, first of all, they already beat you in not being obese. So yeah. So we already starting out at a physical attractiveness. So that counts as better. Yes.
Right. And they're probably better mothers, correct?
Let me say this. They are the difference is this. In the United States, you have a lot of women who, if they are single mothers, they are single mothers living alone. They're single mothers living in an apartment or a house that they live in by themselves with their children. In Colombia, it doesn't really work that way. People tend to live with their families until they either get married and leave, or they can earn enough to strike out on their own. So most of the women who are single mothers still live at home with their parents, or they live with combinations of brothers, uncles, aunts, and other men in their home. It's not like they're living in apartments by themselves with their kids. So there's still more male influence in their home because they're living with their brothers, their dads, their uncles, their whoever. There's still men in their houses, even if it's not their baby daddy. It's a
Right.
man in the house, right?
But I think single mothers are different there because, from what I understand, they still are with the men, but they're not
Yeah,
married.
there's a lot of cohabitation here where they're not like on paper.
Right.
So they might not go down to the church because the Catholic Church does a lot down here. They might not go down to the Catholic Church and to the municipality and get the license, but they've been living together 10, 15 years. They got kids. They live together. So they don't count as a marriage, but they have a much higher rate of cohabitation.
Right. Okay, that makes sense because I heard GC say that the single mothers there are better. So I just wanted to ask a passport bro why. But thank you for clarifying that.
It's a twofold. He's right about that. He's right about that. But it's a twofold why. Half of the why is because they're cohabitating. The other half of the why is because those that aren't cohabitating still live in a house with family, with fathers and brothers and etc.
Right. Okay. See, that makes a lot of sense.
So
Whereas,
you're not gonna see like a kid living in an apartment by themselves with their mama. It's always other family members around.
right. So they're raising a better child. Whereas with single baby mamas here in America, it's just the mother influencing the child to be right.
Exactly.
Yeah. So
Right. There's other influences on the child other than just mama. It's abuela, it's abuelita, abuela,
yeah.
abuelo, abuela. It's tío, it's hermano. It's just more people in the house.
Right. Okay. So what about living in poverty? I want to talk about that because a lot of people say black men go over there to get these dirty foot women living in poverty, and that's the only reason why they can get those women. Are all of these women living in poverty, or is that a myth?
Well, absolutely not. I'm in I'm in one of the most cosmopolitan cities in the world, in Medellin. Um, you got people riding around here in Mercedes Benzes. You got doctors, lawyers. Uh, there's this one girl I went out with before. She works in a lab. She got like a chemistry degree and works in a lab. She's a Afro Latina who works in a lab. She
Yeah.
makes a good living. She makes a good living in Colombia. She she doesn't make what an American equivalent middle class, but she makes what's equivalent to a Colombian middle class. She can take trips now and then. She gets vacations. She goes places. She's city girl, Latin America, basically.
Right. Right. So
Yeah,
yeah. So
Sex in the City, Latin America, not City Girl, if I may. But she has that. She has that lifestyle. But she can buy herself a designer bag every now and then. It's not Louis. It might be Michael Kors or Coach.
right, but she's still making money. She's still working, and
Right.
to answer a lot of the women's questions, these women, I'm sure. Well, let me ask Pablo because I never been there. Pablo, these women are working. You just said yes, just like Black American women are working here. They're still
Yeah,
working to
it just
help.
don't pay as no. It just doesn't pay as much. But it pays and affords them a lifestyle in Colombia, right? And so, for example, in Colombia, the middle class is not as large as it is in the U.S., right?
Mhm.
So they still have one. It's not as big.
Right.
They have rich, they have middle class, and they have poor. And they have all areas in between, upper middle class and all. They even do
Well,
housing. They even do housing here by what they call strata.
I was
So
about
you
to say that. I was about to ask you about strata 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and
3,
6.
4, 5, 6. Yeah. So strata
Yeah.
6 is like the wealthiest of the wealthy, right?
Yeah.
That's your $1 million condos, your shit with a helipad on the top, and the gated community with the armed guards and all that shit, right? And then you got, strata 5, which is like upper middle class and wealthy, but not, top of the top of the top. And then you got 4 and 3 and right on down the line to where you're in Communitah 13. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Now, another thing I want to speak on is that people are saying black men come over there and they get the strata 1, 2, and 3 women. They get the poor, fat women of the country. Let's debunk that right now. That's not true, is it?
Um, if anybody believes that, they can go to my other YouTube channel. It's called the Passport Bros Receipts channel. And you can go and see the women that we date, marry, have relationships with. I got a whole channel on that alone. It's called the Passport Bros Receipts channel. Put it in your search engine and go take a look for yourself. I'm not gonna try to answer something that you can see with your own eyes. It just don't make sense.
Right. Please drop that in the chat, and also drop his channel in the chat as well for those who don't have his channel. Drop it in the chat, please. But yeah, I had Kings and Dreams up here, and he said the same thing. He was like, "Listen, this is not true. If you're a black man coming from America, you're automatically deemed as like a strata 5. You're up there already because of the money you have. So usually men can date strata 5s and strata 6s, but he said there are some men who don't realize that what they can get, and they're just going with the lower class of women, and but they can get the higher class women. So that's why I brought that up. Stoic said, I will subscribe. Make sure you do subscribe, Stoic. Everybody, make sure they subscribe to.
I'm about to drop it in the chat. I'm gonna have to step away. It's time for me to step away. But like I said, I can be back in about 15. If you want to invite guests up and let them start chatting amongst themselves, I'll just be quiet back here and mute up for a second while I go handle my business, and then I'll come back in about 10, 15 minutes. Okay.
Okay, cool. So you guys heard that. He'll be back in 10, 15 minutes. And I'll start dropping the link right now. If anybody have any questions that I didn't ask Pablo, hit the link, ask him whatever you want. The StreamYards is right here. So just come up, get those questions ready. I'm sure you can ask him whatever you want. He'll answer it. He doesn't have a problem with that. So hit that StreamYards link right now. And also make sure you subscribe to his Passport Bro Receipts channel. All my mods in the chat, because I gave you a wrench for a reason. So make sure you guys are dropping his channels, both of his channels, if you can. But definitely hit the link and come up and let us know what's on your mind. And those who don't want to come up, you can also ask questions in a chat. If I missed anything and you want me to ask Pablo, just type it in the chat. Hey, Silent Lamont. He says first class to El Dorado Airport ain't cheap. Yeah, it's not. I'm sure it's not cheap to travel overseas. I'm sure it's very expensive, but
You don't want to go to First of all, you don't fly into El Dorado. You want to fly into Jose. You want to fly into airport, which is MDE, not Jose, whatever that is. El Dorado, not El Dorado. You want to fly into Jose Carlos Antonio or something like that is the name of the major airport. The city airport is the other one El Dorado. You don't want that one.
No.
That's not the one you want.
Right. You got me wanting to go, Pablo. I want to go and I want to explore and I want to see the culture.
You would
and
enjoy it, Mel. You would enjoy it. You would enjoy it. You fit right in.
Oh, well,
You fit right in. I know that.
I appreciate that. Thank you. I try not to be another ratchet, you know. I really do. But let's start with Blue. Hi, Blue.
Hello.
Hey, what's on your mind? You have anything you want to ask Pablo when he comes back? Because he said he had to step away.
Okay. What country he was in?
I don't know if you're still there, Pablo, but right now he's in Colombia.
Oh, Colombia. Okay, I've never been there.
Mm-hmm. He's in Colombia. Okay.
He currently lives in Colombia.
No,
he's back and forth.
He's back and forth. He lives here, but right now he's visiting Colombia. Before that,
I would like to know what the what the real estate is like. You know, how much of the properties, how that work out.
All right. Well, when he comes back, you can ask him all that. But let me just give you a little bit about Pablo while he's gone. I think he lived in DR, if I'm not mistaken. He found a wife there and he got married to her and he brought her back to the States. So that's one thing about Pablo.
Mm-hmm.
But well,
what up, Mel?
Hey Mel. Hey Classy.
Hey, how's it going?
It's good. How are you guys today?
Excellent. How about yourself?
I'm good. I'm happy that I'm finally interviewing Pablo. I've been wanting to do this for a while. So good that I'm up here with them. But Mel, you came next. What's on your mind, Mel?
What's up? Yeah. I just wanted to ask about the month.
Oh, you're breaking up, Mel.
Yeah, I'm on my iPad. Hello? Can you hear me?
A little bit, but you're like choppy. You're very choppy.
I'm using my internet on my
Oh, you're choppy, Mel.
I'm gonna drop down, yeah.
Well, wait, go ahead. Talk again.
Can you hear me, Claire?
I hear you now, yeah.
Yeah. Of the single mothers. Over there. My thing is, they here. I ain't married that they come there now.
Oh, no.
Over here.
Mel, I didn't hear you. You're choppy. Can you call back with your phone? Can you come back up with your phone?
No, I'm on my iPad.
Oh.
You can hear me now.
I hear you in and out. Say it again.
I wanted to ask about the single mother rate.
Oh, yeah. Now you sound good. Okay, yeah. When he comes back, definitely.
Yeah, my thing with the others, if they're different from over there, like includes of they might be better to him point of view, they better than over here. Why ain't they married at a higher rate to their father over there than the ones over here?
You said why are they what?
Why are they not married to their child's father in a higher rate over there? Here.
That's a good question. He was saying something about that they stay home with their family until they get married, so their family is raising the kids.
Yeah, but that has nothing to do with the father of the kids. They still got pregnant by someone.
That's true.
They're not married to the child's fathers over there, so it's like.
Yeah. Well, that's a good question for Pablo. Well, how about you, Classy? What question you want to ask Pablo while we're waiting for him?
No, I was going to say to a certain degree, I agree with Pablo. When you see a lot of single mothers, even in Colombia and Brazil, they're still amongst their family structure where they know that there's people they can rely on. Now, between what happened between the father and the woman that got pregnant by the man, that's a total different story. I would have to, I would have to ask them personally, but they don't have the same structural system like America has, where when a woman falls, there's always a safety net to pick them back up where they can start acting foolish and acting crazy. So they know in those countries they can't really afford to do all that stuff. Because if they do, people will
Right.
turn their backs on them.
Right. Yeah. You've been to Colombia, haven't you,
Yes,
Classy? Because you're a
yes, I've been to
passport
Colombia
pro.
before. Yeah,
Yeah.
I've been to Medellin. I've been to Barranquilla. I've been to La Guajira. I've been to Cartagena. Yeah.
Right.
And
So
I
you
think a
say,
lot of times that when a lot of people say third world, they get it kind of twisted. They go by what American news shows about these countries. They'll show the impoverished areas, they'll show the areas where a lot of crap is going on. And they assume, well, these people are all poor, dissolute. Look at them. It's like, no, they don't have the same powerhouse as America and the UK has, like when it comes to first world power. That's where that whole third world country stuff. So they and people assume that these people is just like digging for mud or something. I'm like, Jesus,
yeah,
y'all gotta travel to look at this and find out for yourselves because yes, they have poor areas, agreed, but the whole country isn't like that. Not even in Brazil by a long shot.
yeah. Well, that's everywhere. Everywhere have the poverty. Even here in Jersey, you got North Camden, Trenton. You got poverty everywhere.
Yes, I mean, think about it. If I was living like in another country and I just showed the worst of Chicago, where you see people getting shot up in America, you're gonna be thinking, "Oh my God, I'm not gonna go there. That country is crazy."
Right. Exactly. But like okay, my brother told me a story. He recently went. Where did he go recently? The Philippines. And he was telling me he met black people out there. One of them was from Newark, New Jersey. So he was shocked. He was like, wow. Like, and he was telling me that the guy from Newark been living out there for years. And his wife's family is like, oh my God, it's terrible out there. People are getting killed. And then they started asking about like the rappers who recently died, all of the rappers and stuff.
Hmm.
And they're like, yeah, that's how it is over there all the time. And my brother's like, no, it's not only like that here. He was like, they think we're all murderers and
Right,
out here.
exactly. And most of those rappers died where I'm living at right now in Los Angeles.
Right, exactly.
So it's like, do you think everybody in Los Angeles is getting shot up? No.
Not everybody, but this is what other people think of us. And I do want to ask Pablo that as well. Like, how does he feel being in a foreign country where people look at him like like a thug? Because my brother told me that's how they see us here.
Right, because of
We're thugs.
what the TV shows them mostly about black folks. If it's not about like the famous people like a Michael Jackson, LeBron James, we probably would be looked at as all those rappers. Oh, these dudes just come up and shoot, rob, and just that's what they
Yeah,
do.
uh-huh.
So it's like, well, that's why we have a upper leg as African Americans. They have seen some of the positive things of African Americans, so they say, oh yeah, I know about them. Besides the rapping, yeah, they cool. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, my brother said when he went over there, people thought he was Floyd Mayweather. I'm like, what?
Yeah, that does happen. Sometimes you get compared to celebrities. That's because that's what they know.
Yeah, I'm like Floyd Mayweather. But they tell him that a lot here too. But um, GC was telling me a story when he went to I think the Philippines. They thought he was a basketball player. So it's like all they look
because
at us.
because you know why the Philippines are short.
That's true. And anybody that's like 5'11" or taller is an athlete.
And
So,
especially with black, the ladies are like, ooh.
yeah, right.
And there are black Philippines. This is so crazy though. But just like in everywhere else, the darker you are, they see you as the more poor. Even in Brazil.
Yeah. Or the women, they say, the darker the woman is, the more they say she works outside.
Yeah, same thing. Just like in America, when we in history, when we had the field people and we had the house dudes, it's almost the same concept, almost, but different.
Yeah. True. So, yeah, I mean, I guess there's negative and positive things about Americans.
Oh,
Mm.
absolutely. I mean, I'm thinking about I was my passport brothers. They went to South America. Had a great time in Johannesburg and Cape Town. They went to Thailand and Pattaya. Hell, the internet connection is faster than here in America,
Oh, nice.
and they have like 8 level malls and stuff full of Gucci and stuff. I'm like, yeah, third world my ass. Excuse my language, but
Right. No, you're good. Exactly. They're living better. Some of them are living better than we are over here. So,
yes. And now I admit, if you want to go off the deeper details, well, their plumbing and stuff is not better than America. Okay, fine. If you want to go there, okay. There's different ways of doing things.
yeah, that's true. They say their plumbing is not as good. They don't have as many appliances. Shout out to Game Changer.
Oh,
um,
oh yeah, the stove. I
that
remember
was
that.
that was a
Yeah.
little cheap shot, but yeah.
But okay, yes, fine. They don't have the type of business affairs like we do when it comes to trading and stuff. Like not at a higher level like we do. Okay, fine.
Well, hey, Blue, Classy, he's a passport bro. Why don't you ask him the same question that you want to ask Pablo
Um,
since he's not here?
well, you say you've been to Colombia.
Sorry. Yes. Mhm.
How was it there? How was it like? How was the real estate? Did you buy property out there?
Well, me personally, I haven't. I've knew some brothers that started to buy property. Some like I said, from the real estate, from what I saw outside of certain areas like the country line and stuff, looked pretty good. But
Mhm.
like I said, I only got a glimpse of it. I don't know the full, view of it because I was just like there traveling, meeting friends and people that I already knew.
Now, would you buy property out there? Would you
Absolutely, yeah.
consider that?
Yeah, because I mean, actually, well, Colombia is cool, but I mean, I'm more of a Brazil type person, so I'm already looking into the real estate of that.
So you've been to Brazil?
Absolutely. Been to
Oh wow.
Fortaleza. I've been to Recife. I've been to Bahia, Salvador, where Austin is. Yeah, and of course, Rio.
Now,
Everybody knows Rio.
in Brazil, they always had the stigma with that it's a high AIDS rate. Do you believe that?
No,
You
because
don't. Why you don't believe it?
well, because in my opinion, they say, "Oh, Brazilians got the highest AIDS rates in America." I'm like, no, that's actually not true. It's still Africa at this point, and I think we're higher than them. That's my from what I saw from the stats. I think we're higher than they are. The problem, I think the reason why a lot of people think that is because those people are a lot more affection than we are. Like when you meet a person, they
Hmm.
like to do kisses and hugs. Us, we like to shake hands. Hey, how you doing? Or if you talk to some female here, it's like, if she think you ugly, it won't be that in the same way. It's like more of a hug and kiss and sexual access. I will admit it's a little bit more easier than it is here in America.
Can you be more specific? What you mean by that?
I'm meaning that like when it comes to the affection part,
Hmm.
meaning that like they're more close and personal, like they like to touch and feel. So if you're coming from a different country like America, you would think that's kind of weird.
Mm.
Wait,
You
wait,
see
I want to label yourself a passport bro,
what
or
you say, Mel? I can't hear you.
do
It's
you
choppy now.
label yourself a passport bro, or just a dude that just
Say that again. I got the passport bro part. I didn't hear the rest.
miss? Hold it.
Okay.
Hello?
Oh
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, what's
that's
up?
better.
Turn my
Yeah.
phone, bro. All right. Do you label yourself a passport bro, or just a guy that travels?
Just a guy that travels. A lot of these people don't even know what a passport bro is.
It's like it kind of gets like frustrating me. Like no disrespect to that group, but it's like, yo, man, not every black man want to be labeled a passport bro and everything. Because we don't know.
Oh damn, Mel, I was with you and then you start chopping up.
I know, but that's the reason. I was
Oh,
living
Mel, we can't hear you.
Damn, Mel, you asking some good questions. You just chopping up, man. I wish I could hear everything you're saying.
it. Can you hear me?
Barely is when you go into a full on sentence, it starts to chop up. I'm like, oh,
Man. All right, let me come back.
Okay.
So we'll wait for Mel to come back. Um. So you're saying they're more affectionate
Hmm.
than other countries
Then I would say more than us as Americans. I've been to the
in
UK
America?
once. I mean, they kind of got the same attitude as we have here in the United States. Even the women the same way. They got that say, I'm independent. Blah, blah, blah. Don't touch me. When you go out, the
Mm.
women love to be affectionate. You can hug them. You can kiss
So let
them
me let me
easily.
ask you
Like,
this:
mm,
why do you think they put that stigma out there?
the stigma of Brazil being the highest in AIDS.
Yeah.
Because like I said, I can admit sexual access is very easy in Brazil. It's very
What are the
easy.
stats? Is that like what is that? Is it true? Like who I want to know who are the people that have AIDS? Are these beautiful people that you see in these videos, or is it like deeper in the country? In the hoods, dumb people
Well,
have
and that,
it.
well, if you notice, like even here in America, the more of the poor areas, for the most part, are usually the ones that's most affected because they don't
Mm,
have the health, the medical access. A lot of them, even though they have free healthcare in Brazil, like in the favelas, but a lot of them don't have a lot of like access to type of the things that we have here in America.
Hello?
mm. Yeah.
Hello?
Okay.
Yeah, you hear me clear now?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, we do. You were asking some good questions, Mel. What were you saying
Yeah.
again?
Hey, what was that in class? Oh yeah, the labeling of the passport, bro, labeling and everything. Yeah.
Oh, go ahead, man. I'm listening.
You don't label yourself a passport, bro. You're just a guy that travels. Cause I know it's like me. I don't label myself a passport, bro. Myself either too. I'm just a guy that travels and
Well,
everything.
my
You want to be?
no.
Mel, can I ask you a question? I'm sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
Mel, where have you traveled to? If you don't mind me asking.
I haven't traveled like on a tour yet. I've been through the cruise ship.
Okay.
When I
Okay.
do, I'm not using that label on myself. I don't want that. Really,
So you travel, you did cruises.
yeah,
Where did you go?
from the Caribbean, um, um, Cosmo, Mexico.
I was about to say Cozumel. That was one of. I was
Yeah.
about to say that Cozumel because I've been there 3 times on a cruise too. So that was
That,
one I was gonna say.
that three tour they took us to, I gotta go back there. Oh, them trips.
Yeah. So you did Cozumel. What else?
So we went back DR Jamaica. Yeah,
Okay, you been to DR too.
yeah, I was one of the stops. You
That
know,
was okay. Okay, that's what's up.
uh, more travel on to the islands itself. Yeah, straight to it. Yeah, like I don't even just Caribbean islands. I want to travel to Europe and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like yeah, it's like I don't want to be labeled that. Like what I'm saying. That's I
Uh huh.
I
just a
Well,
think
he already broke down what passport bro is. He said a passport bro is someone who actually get married to women, like go over there for the woman and get
man.
with her, get
That
married and all
is
that.
people go and travel for women. I'm not traveling for that.
Well, I mean, let me
You
go
know,
ahead and put something else on there. Yes, agreed. There are some people that do travel for the women, but there's also people that are traveling to not be just passport bros. They call expats. Those are people who are willing to either get dual citizenships or possibly maybe even build real estate there. They probably want to retire there after they, retire from the United States, but they'll still be making money from the United States.
And what is that called?
The
that,
expats, like expatriates, or they
I think
usually
that's
oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
that
no. Go ahead. What is it called?
Expats. They call them expats.
yeah,
I
I think
think that's what I want to be. I want to be an expat.
Yeah. It
I,
does.
I don't want to be like a pal. Like, yeah, where you going, man? I'm going out the country. Go get me some pussy, nigga. You know what I'm
But that the thing about that is, yes, I always tell people, yes, there are some guys doing that, but the stigma of passport bros is the idea that's being spread around YouTube is that, oh, that's what y'all always do. Y'all go to get these women of different races. I'm like, this is how I know y'all
Yo,
never travel, because
you,
I'm
you know
like,
what?
do you remember the Atlantic slave trade? The majority of the black slaves did not come to North America. It
exactly.
went to the Caribbean and South America.
Mm.
I got a friend I saw. I ain't seen him in a long time. I saw him in the bar, and he like his eye. He looked cross-eyed and shit.
Oh God.
But the shit was funny, and he
Try to keep
drank a
it
lot.
clean. Let's try to keep the language clean.
What language? What I
I'll be
said?
back. I'll be back, Mel, in a second. I just my guest left something in the room. I had to come back and get it and take it back to him. I will be back. Keep going. I'll be back in a second.
All right, we
Okay,
hold it down. We
thanks.
waiting for you.
Now I will say Pablo has a lot
Mm.
more traveling experience than I do. I've been to certain places like I've been to Italy. You would be amazed. They have a African community full of black folks in Italy. It's crazy.
Yeah, I want to visit Italy myself.
I would never have thought that.
Me neither. It was when we went to Italy, we went to I forgot where it was at. I forgot the name of it, but it's just whole community full of Africans, dark skinned blacks all around there, and I was like, wow.
Wow. It's amazing how black people are spread out all over the world.
I heard them Italian men love them black women though.
Oh yeah. Oh heck yeah.
I,
Especially Americans. They love American and British black men, from what I was told.
You know who love American black women? Like the Arabics, um, Jewish men. Oh my God, this one Jewish man followed me around the park and told me he had property. Like I couldn't believe that was his like his line to try to get me. He was like, "Yeah, I own properties. I own this. I own that. You should come and be with a good man." I'm like, "What?"
Well, I mean,
Like, wait.
I it,
hey, why do you think sex workers, most of their clients have been Jewish or Arab community dudes? They, they, they ask what
that's
they
true. I think in hindsight with our community mail is that they with us, especially when the things we see on YouTube, you see women say, "Well, I don't date a man unless he got a college education and all that." I think some of them see that and they be like, "Well, hey, baby, I got property, I got
Yeah,
businesses."
yeah. And this was a Hasidic Jew, and I'm like,
Acidic, oh my god,
yeah, and I'm like, wait a minute, I'm black and you're Hasidic. You're not even allowed to talk to me.
oh
But
No,
wow.
I
no,
think, I
young men
think,
are a big
hmm?
old freak. Maybe they can't do certain things with their wives because it's part of their religion. But they want to do it against other type of fetishes with a person that's not part of their organization and stuff like that. Like I know a worker who when we came to the house to do some work on it, Hasidic Jew came right out the bedroom from a session she did with her. I was not surprised, but I was like, man.
Good
Wait,
point,
what?
Mel. But people need to understand also. Some of them may want to have sex with other cultures, but they know dang well they're not going to marry a person
I
from
don't
another
know.
country.
Nah, but it's just weird because I'm like, you're not supposed to be talking to me. He's like, oh, I'm a man. I can do what I want. The women can't talk to other men. He's like, but we can talk to other women if we want.
Yeah,
I'm like,
Well, I
oh,
mean,
that's interesting.
that's very interesting because when I've been to New York, I've been hit on by plenty Jewish women. But go ahead.
By Hasidic Jews?
Well, I won't go to the city. I won't go that far, but
And I think that's what he meant. Like, hey, listen, I can talk to whoever I want, but the women can't. So,
hmm.
yeah. But
So can I finish my story
go
real
ahead.
quick?
Yeah.
So friend of mine that I know from like early 2000s, right? Like he got
Are you okay, brother?
the hell?
What happened?
nothing happened.
Oh, I thought you got bit by a pit bull. I was like,
Your
dude, you
dog.
need medical
Yeah.
attention.
Yeah, we
You
had to come
scared me.
take your protect this dude.
That was really scary. But okay, go ahead, Blue.
Yeah, going back to my story. Um the yeah, so he drink a lot of beer and stuff and shit. Sorry, my French is just he drinks liquor, so he like one of the people who always smell like they drinking. And he was just talking.
Yeah.
It was funny because he was saying something, and the girl said something. She was like, not with them eyes crossed, but I heard what she said. You know how people hear something, but they just ignore it because don't nobody want to just like let it get overwhelmed. The atmosphere get overwhelmed.
Hmm.
No, he just kept saying, he like, yeah, man, I don't worry about these girls. I go outside the country. I be doing this. I be doing that. And I'm just looking at it. I'm like, yeah, because don't nobody probably want to fuck you.
Watch your language. I want this stream to be green. I don't want it to be yellow or red. Watch your language.
What you mean yellow and red? It get yellow and red?
When you use bad language, I can't monetize it.
It's an algorithm.
Oh, okay. Well, that was it. It was just funny because he be saying he be going out the country. He like, yeah, I'm always going out the country. So he sounds like to me one of them guys who really actually go out the country to have sex because the women here don't want to be bothered with him because all he doing is drinking. Probably smell a little dirty and stink. You know what I mean? Don't
Mm-hmm.
nobody want to mess with him here. So he go out the country. He probably feel like the man out the country. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Versus being in America. That that's all. It was just weird.
Okay. Well, thanks for that story. But I want to hear from Game Changer. Hi, Game Changer.
Hey, how you doing, Melody?
I'm good. How are you?
Pretty good, pretty good.
So, what's on your mind?
Yeah, so it was interesting what Pablo was saying about the marriage rate, and yeah, a lot of people in other countries are married. They're just not married on paper because they can't afford the procedure. It's very expensive, very costly. It costs about the same as as an American wedding and things like that, depending on
Mm-hmm.
the level of extravagance. But um, yeah, they just basically say to each other like, "Listen, we're married. We just you know um, the state don't recognize us."
Right. And that was a good point because, and then he said that the family helped take care of the kids. Whereas with American single women, it's just the woman and the kid with no help but the government. What's your take on that?
Wait, say that last part again.
No, I was saying he said like in other countries, the woman would live with with her family with her child until she gets married. So she has like the mother, the grandmother, everybody helping her take care of the child. So it's like a village raising the child. Whereas like with American single mothers, hold on one second, I gotta let this person up. Um, Real quick, Azriel, say something.
Hello, testing. 1, 2, 3. Hello, brethren. What's going on? Hello, lovely Melody. How are you guys
Right.
doing this lovely evening?
Good.
Twas
Hello,
a
sir.
couple, twas a couple nights before Christmas, and the passport bros are all anew.
We're good. I
So,
just want to make sure you wasn't no troll, but hold on, let me just finish
yo,
telling Game
Yo,
Changer real quick. Um, huh?
I thought that was Young E. Sounded like him a little
No, his name is
no,
Azriel.
bit.
But I was saying that Pablo was saying, there's a village raising the woman overseas child, whereas black women here, it's just the mother and a child in a government.
Yeah. Well, a lot of the welfare mentality does cause women to want to reduce their village, and thereby have greater control over the influence of the offspring. So, if there is a man in the house, particularly if that man is the child's natural biological father, he's going to have a greater influence and impact on the child than, say, a stepfather or no father at all. So, in
Right.
order to perpetuate, you call it ratchet culture, you call it welfare culture. They eliminate all those who do not participate in it, all those who are not a part of that particular culture. They eliminate it in order to influence their children in that way.
Mhm.
And so, yeah, a lot of kids, particularly black kids, grew up without a village. You know, right off the
Yeah.
bat, by leaving the father, you are making half of a village right there. Like you're denying your child half of his village right then and there.
Right.
Why
Good
why
point.
not marrying they there?
What you say, Mel?
Why they not marrying there?
Why aren't they marrying where?
Their child father.
You talking about here?
No, over there.
I mentioned it. Cost of marriage, cost of wedding, cost of certificate. Many are spiritually married; they're just not legally married.
true. The co-parenting culture is more stronger over there than it is here too.
Yes, sir.
But there are dudes
Exactly.
come over here marrying them.
I'm sorry.
There are dudes that will come over there marrying them. So like that course, bring him back.
It comes down to economics, though, Mel.
Yeah.
I get it. It doesn't make
Guys, hold on 1 second, please. Give me 2 minutes. I'll be right back. Go ahead, Game Changer. You can finish asking your question and speak with the panel. I'll be right back. You there, Game Changer? I guess
Game
not.
changer. Gotta do in the Sean Connery voice. Game changer. Golden finger. Golden finger. That's all I always say. Game changer.
Game changer.
Game changer. Like Sean Connery.
Well, Azrael, what is your take on this whole thing?
I mean, I'm a passport bro through and through. It's just that my pockets are not as deep as Game Changer and Pablo's yet, but you know, I've traveled, of course. The first place I traveled, ironically, was Jamaica for like a whole 2 months. My mom sent me there, like right after high school. I could have traveled more. The irony is, because I'm 28 now, but I would say my biggest regret is not traveling as much as I could have. Because even if I didn't have the money, I'm sure my mom would have helped me out, especially when I'm like 21, 22. I was just too busy trying to buy like jewelry or sneakers and whatnot. But my I would say my biggest regret is, see, for example, I wish I had Austin's mindset when I was Austin's age. That's like 5 years ago. You know, like a lot of the girls that I was dating, like they were on their second passport book. You know, so it's crazy. Like, imagine like you're dating, like you're the one trying to impress her wearing like fly Jordans and shit, and her parents been traveling, taking her to trips all across the country, all across the world, and by the time the girl that you're dating which is a black woman, she's like 25, she's already on her second passport book because all her first one is filled. You know, so. It just proves to me in a way that like black men, we definitely need to do travel more, because black women travel nonstop. Like that's a thing to them. That's
Yes.
Yeah. So
Well, I mean, just like you said, Ezra, can we go back to the 90s where we heard of what was that movie by Terry McMillan? What was it called?
Stella got that groove back.
Yes. I mean, it's funny, we had that back then and no one said a thing, but when the brothers on YouTube start talking about passports, I mean, everybody's getting angry. Why are you going out of the country? Roar! Like,
yeah, to me that's wild. Like, and you had, it's funny because you had like certain dating coaches whose parents are from Jamaica and Trinidad, and then they call these people like dirty foot, or these women are prostitutes, and I'm like, dude, like your mom is from Jamaica or your dad is from Trinidad. Like, how are you gonna diss people from other countries? To me, I'll be honest with you, and I'm not trying to brag or nothing like that. Like, my parents are Jamaican, but half of my friends, they're from all over the country, right? So I play music and whatnot, and I'm in bands. Like one of my band members, he's Egyptian. I have another band member, he's from Costa Rica. I have another band member, his name is his name is Mohammed, but he's from the Middle East, right? And then I have another friend there, he's English, and I have all these people from all different backgrounds. And so my kind of perception as to how to engage with other people from other countries is different from the average American. And it gives me a broader perspective. I'll give you a prime example. I have a good friend and he lives in Argentina. Like, if I were to go to travel down there right now, he would have me set up. Now he lives in like the farm area, right? But because me and him are so cool and so tight, like if I were to go travel down there, I would be straight. And that's because I built that network, right? And me and him talk about soccer, and we talk about different things going on in the world. And we like American music. I like Spanish music as well. And he's Argentinian, and we were talking about because Argentina just won the World Cup. And he said he cried when they won the World Cup. So certain things if you're out of the loop, you're not gonna experience it. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Keep talking. Go ahead.
Yeah. I don't want to take up the whole conversation, but like
no, you were saying great points. That's why we were listening. It was like, yes, sir. Go ahead.
Yeah, I've dated. So like I'm dating right now, but the beauty of what Austin is doing is like you giving the option to say like, hey, if this don't work, for me, prime example, like I'm dating right now, I'm chilling, I'm not nothing too crazy, nothing serious like that. But if it don't work out, I know all I gotta do is make sure I finish school. And when I want to get married, I know I can either go the route of going to probably East Africa or go somewhere in Brazil. Prime example, Brazil has, I believe, well, in Colombia, 40% of the people there are black.
Mm-hmm.
I believe in Cuba, it's about 60%, and the same with Brazil, right? So
it's 80% in Brazil.
See, I knew it was over 60. But prime example, Cuba is 60%. People think Cuba, they think, oh, Fidel Castro, you're thinking
right.
the Hispanic dude, like the Hispanic dude at the bodega, but it's like, nah, most of the Cubans look like us.
Yes.
Let me ask you this, brother. If a woman was attractive, would you sleep with a woman with dirty feet?
Not only would I sleep with her, I make sure I clean her feet. Like, listen, people were trying to get on Jessica. I said, hey, Jessica, if ever you come to America, let me wash your feet for you. And that's been my go-to line since the beginning of like the summer. I'm like, hey, like if ever your feet are dirty or whatnot, if ever we meet in England, I'll wash your dirty feet for you. Because people, oh, she dirty foot, why she not ADOS, you know. To me, it don't even matter. Like I've dated women that were she was fine. She was the most feminine woman I've ever dated. Was a French woman that was, her parents were Cape Verdean, and even though she spoke English, there was some of a slight language barrier, but she was just so feminine, and she was very classy too. And the irony is that
I like to point to the screen for a second.
Yeah,
fellas, would y'all sleep with her if her feet was dirty?
Hell yeah, I'm watching her feet.
Because the thing is, we don't know.
Why are they selling dirty feet like we give a damn?
Well, first of all,
like genuinely don't care if the feet is dirty. Who's looking at the feet on this woman? Like they really don't care. In fact, I'm gonna be straight up. It turns me on a little bit. Knowing that their feet is filthy dirty. Just knowing that makes it, because sex is supposed to be a filthy thing. There are things on my bucket list, and like the actual like tribes with the breast out and the ankles covered, that's on my bucket list. And I don't know if their feet dirty, and guess what? I don't care. If they do, that's part of the fantasy. Just the fact that they live in the huts and stuff turn me on. That women who put fruit on their head and walk without touching the fruit, they just balance the fruit or the laundry or whatever they put on top of their head, is another one that I want to do before I die. If you think you can shame me because of their feet, you have another thing coming. I gives no damn. I gives no damn about the feet.
You have to love Game Changers' range of bucket lists.
I will admit, I do got a little bit of a foot fetish. So if she got crack on the toes, all that shit looking messed up, I'm like,
You're saying that if this woman on the screen right here, you met her, listen to me good, Mel. You're saying that if you're walking the beach and you have sandals on and she has a bikini on but no sandals, you're saying, oh no, thank you.
I know what you're doing, trying to twist what I'm saying. Listen to me clearly. I do admit I got a little bit of a foot fetish, so I like my woman be sort of head to toe. That gets my heart because I like having foot jobs by females. I'm kinky like that. So if she got crusty looking toes, ashy, ain't done, I don't want to touch her.
So if the feet are off, then it's everything is off for you?
Mel, the question is, would you sleep with this woman were she to have dirty feet?
The picture that you showed, most likely she's going to take care of her toes.
No, the question is, would you sleep with this woman if the bottom of her feet were dirty?
I just said no. She got to take care.
That's you.
More for me, I guess. I'm like, hey, come on, let me get the Epsom salt. We're gonna have that thing, the Mika thing, the Mika scrub. We're gonna get them heels nice and shiny. And you know I'm talking about, Melody, right? The Mika scrub thing, that scrub that thing.
I know what you're talking about.
You know what I'm talking about. because our parents are Caribbean, so you know I'm talking about the thing. My grandmother and my mom use it like if you like your feet, the back of your heel has callus, just scrub that shit down and we good to go. Put some lotion on St. Ives and we good to go. I mean, to each their own, man. To me, a woman with
anyway before it was like, yo, it's got cracked skin toes underneath there on that shit all jacked up and like looking like that scene from Don't Be a Menace when he tried to suck her toes and that shit all crusty like that. Ew. Nah.
See, the thing is that Black American women typically lack everything else.
Mm-hmm.
Like the other 99.5% of the human anatomy that's not the feet, they lack in that. They're deficient in that. And since it takes about 30 seconds to wash both feet, and it takes a long time to lose 140 pounds, I would definitely say that is the superior choice. Like, stop trying to sell RC Cola. You are RC Cola. They are Coke and Pepsi. Like, Pepsi has a chance of surpassing Coke, but no, not you. You are RC Cola. You're worse than RC Cola. You're Kroger Select. You're Kroger Select Cola. That is the brand that you are. And stop trying to say, oh, you drink your Coca-Cola. Don't you know that the Klan drinks Coca-Cola? There is nothing you could say. They're a better soda. They are a better soda than you. You are not soda. You are that thing that that they put into the thing. Like, picture somebody with a bathtub that's unwashed and they're making soda in it. That's you.
Mel, he does have a point though, because if the only thing that's separating you from your ideal woman is dirty feet, like, you mean to tell me you wouldn't try to solve that situation?
Yeah, you're not gonna scrub them feet clean, Mel.
You taking care of that before she even meet me. What the hell? Like, it's fucking around with them all day like that. Those right there, I'll put my like,
man, we could barely hear you.
You know, legit judge you how your nails.
Mel, we can't hear you.
Yeah.
I said the same way how females will judge how dirty your nails is. I'll do the same damn thing with them. Okay, let me see some parts of your body right where I want.
Yeah, no. I have to agree with Mel though. You gotta wash your feet.
Thank you.
I am a bit of a slob. However, I feel that I'm a decent catch, and there's others that feel the same. And I've been with women who seen that I had this particular flaw, and they just cleaned up my house or apartment and sucked my penis. And that's because you don't just completely throw something out because of a single flaw, especially one that you know is averted. It's not a.
I'm back, guys.
Hi, Pablo.
What did I miss?
Mel is the throw the baby in the bathwater kind of guy.
No, Pablo, the question on the table is, would you knowingly sleep with a beautiful woman who has dirty feet?
Well, what does dirty? Let me ask you this for people who don't, because that's a term used by people who do not travel the globe frequently or at all. What is their definition of quote unquote dirty feet?
You know, I don't know. I don't actually know. They just kind of say it. You know, I don't know if they mean yellow toenails. I really don't know. I'm assuming that they are talking about shoeless women. You know, like the kind that walk the beat. Well, Millie, could you share the screen, please?
Sure.
They most try
Actually, those women, can I say something? Actually, those women are some of the best women. Let me tell you why.
Yes.
So if she had dirty feet, you would sleep with her, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Because you're a normal.
And here's why.
Yeah, go for it.
My one of my friends, his name is Mervin. He's married to a Dominican woman who's from out in the mountains, halfway between the border between Haiti and Santiago. So Santiago is the city that's in the center of the country. Well, halfway between La Vega and the Haitian border, right? So his wife grew up on a farm in the mountains. Her father was in agriculture. He raised, I don't know what it was. He grew out there in DR, but he was a farmer, and so she is the epitome of a submissive, caregiving, nurturing wife. He rarely eats out. She cooks damn near every day. She keeps his house clean. She takes care of his boy. She also works part-time. And so she is one of the best women, and she would be what you would definitely call a quote-unquote dirty foot. She came from very humble beginnings. You're talking about a cinder block house with a tin roof type of thing. So, yeah. So, but it's interesting that in the United States, poverty, particularly among Black people and people of the darker races, is considered to be a sign of poor character. Well, here's the difference. Abroad, being Black is not associated with poor character and poor behavior. Abroad, being Black is associated with being being poor or being not having a lot of money, but it is not associated with bad behavior.
Yes.
And therein lies the difference. So when you guys say, well, dirty foot or whatever, to us who are frequent travelers, it literally sounds like you're a child on a tricycle trying to tell a jet pilot about flying.
Well,
Yeah.
to me, it sounds like the only thing that Western women have to bring to the table is clean feet. Like, it seems like they're saying, I have clean feet. What do you have?
Even though I'm morbidly obese.
Let's just say if Michael B. Jordan had dirty feet, and a woman who's interested in Michael B. Jordan was to say, and then I just walk up to that chick and say, hey, you want to get with that dirty foot dude? Look at my feet. So what if he's rich and handsome?
Well, most of the time it comes from women. Most of the time.
Yeah, I know. I'm just explaining the logic here.
Exactly. I'm with you. And they do it because what they think, and this is common among Black women in America, is that they think a woman's socioeconomic status is important to men, and it isn't. No matter how much we tell them it isn't, they keep trying to convince us that it is. Yes. It really isn't.
Yeah.
No, I agree. And Kevin Samuels makes that point clear all the time. Like, it doesn't matter. Your degrees and things like that do not give me an erection at all.
No.
It matters to a certain type of man.
Making sandwiches does. I'm sure maintain your erection.
Yeah.
That is true, Mel, because even going back to what Game Changer said about Kevin Samuels, he had a woman on his show. She was like, why does my money and greed don't matter? He said, because I can't spend it.
Yeah, exactly. What's yours is yours, and what's hers is hers.
Yeah,
and what ours is theirs too, because we're doing the providing.
But that's what I'm saying too. They don't even matter, man. We know it's a low value broke man. Because when I was on another panel the other day, when Charles was debating with this chick who made 6 figures, she has a boyfriend that came on the panel, try to say it's not true and everything. He makes $6,000 a year. They know him for a year and stuff. So we kind of already knew that dynamic already and stuff like that. Yeah, so it only works for a certain type of man. It's just like how females thinking they can intimidate a dude so much. It only works for weak-minded dudes that you get intimidated. That intimidation type they always do. It's not gonna work for a strong-minded, masculine dude who is sure of himself and stuff. So yeah.
And the reason I used the sports analogy, which was kind of the topic of the show about being a team player, about teamwork and all that kind of stuff, is that kind of behavior and virtue signaling. I mean, it straight up says, I'm only in it for me. And
Mm.
you are going to block for me. You are going to be an offensive lineman, and you better not ever once ask to spike the ball. Like you, I'm getting the glory and the camera time, and you service me, and you do nothing else. Yeah, that's the whole vibe of the Communitah for me. Is that
Yeah.
your
Now,
service?
Being
now
the
going to what you're
matriarch,
saying
the
about
matri-
team players, Freaking
sorry.
Journals brings up an interesting point. It says that's because too many Black women like bums. A job is important to. Okay, so um, I don't want to say that they necessarily like bums. I will say that they like feeling like less of a bum. A bum makes them feel like less of a bum. It's kind of like the homeless man calling a bum. Like, I'm homeless, but you're a bum. It's that weird dynamic that they have. And I'll give an example, right? So Classy is a doctor. Now, as such, there are lesser people on the medical totem pole than doctors. Let's just take the woman who's not a registered nurse, but she does work the receptionist because she went to one of those you can do it career colleges. 18 months you can be a medical assistant. She went to one of those. Now, to a guy who is not a doctor, the guy who say delivers food to that or delivers the Alhambra water to that, she appears successful. But to Classy, she's just a chick. And I think that that's why they go for that type of guy, because they don't want to see themselves through classy eyes. They want to see themselves as somebody who, from their point of view, she might as well be a doctor.
Mm-hmm. Great point.
Yeah, that is a great point. And also, I remember Kevin Samuels used to say, a lot of these women would say, "Hey, I have a degree," and they would use big words to make themselves better than what they are. Like, you know what I mean? They'll use like a different title, but it pretty much means the same thing as what they really do. But
Yeah.
it makes them sound better.
I
And
am
that's my
I
point.
am an
Like, so take
administrative
Classy, for
assistant.
example. Like a woman
Yeah.
walks up to Classy and says, "Hey, I got a degree," and Classy says, "Well, I got 3." It kind of like she feels uncomfortable. It humbles her, and they don't like the humility of it.
That's why we tell them, like, you know what? Well, degree, money you're making, are you still paying the debt on the college degrees that you put in? How much you making after all the debt you pay and everything? What's your actual net worth after all the debts and taxes you pay? Don't equal out with all the degrees you got. You ain't making shit.
Even I can tell you an example. Even some of the new doctors that are coming into the field, like the first year residents, a lot of people think those people are making a lot of money. They're
Nope.
really not. They don't make that money until they're actually going up into the attending status or fellowship. The residents don't make a lot of money.
Or they become specialists, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's the highest pinnacle. The specialists, some specialists make like $500,000 a year, depending on what type of specialist you are.
Yeah,
Right. Cardiologists, such.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm.
Probably most women they pay attention to how much the job is with the title and everything, and then they find out the work they're doing. It's like a totally different thing. It's like I remember this guy that I used to work with. He used to work with sanitation for many years. Got a good retirement. When he left there, and he told himself like, "Yo, women shouldn't be in sanitation and everything." And he's seen it. Why? He saw a woman that worked sanitation, and she realized how good the money was, but the job itself, she couldn't do it. She technically trying to do the
Well, I
garbage
was
before. So it's like, yeah, and he feels the same thing like with women firefighters and everything. Like they pay attention to these titles, and someone always thrilled. But I heard a female selling herself online. I don't want no female firefighter carrying me out like that. You know what I'm saying? But she can't
What if
lift
she have
300 pounds.
What if she have clean feet though?
I was shocked at the numbers of Black American women who did not know how much certain professions and skilled trades people make, like plumbers, for example. My plumber left. We were doing some renovations in a basement. The plumber had to put in a new hot water heater. He left there with For about an hour and a half's worth of work, he left there with almost $2,000 in his pocket.
Damn.
I agree.
And he don't pay. And he don't pay the types of malpractice insurance that Classy does. So,
Thank you. Yes, thank you. Say it,
Yeah.
Pablo.
I want to say this. Oh, go ahead,
I'm
Classy.
sorry. I was going to make this point real quick. If I had a child, which I don't, but I'm just saying, if I had a child, I would rather them go to trade school before going to college, because the fact of the matter is, a lot of people don't understand plumbing and electricians. I mean, think about it. You make all that money, you can start your own business.
Bruh, who are you telling, man? I'm about to finish my accounting degree this year. Like, it's been intense.
Congratulations,
Right?
brother.
Thank you. This year coming up, right? God willing, the creek don't rise, what have you. If I were to do it all over again, I would have became a plumber. After 5 years as a plumber in New York, where I live, you automatically make $90 an hour. After
agree.
5 years. Now, when you get your master's plumbing, there's only like a handful of people in New York that have it. You can easily become a millionaire in the next couple of years. They say they don't even have enough. Because see, there's a city and then there's Long Island, right?
Yeah.
They say in Long Island they wouldn't even have enough work. Like they have so much work, you wouldn't be able to fulfill it for like a next couple of years. Like if you to do back to back to back to back to back, like there's just so much work needed to be done in Long Island in terms of the plumbing, and guys can make a killing. If I were to do it all over again, I would have became a plumber.
Would you still be interested still be in that field now?
No, I mean,
Like,
well, I'm almost
start your own plumbing agency, being that you say in the finance. Now that you know numbers and stuff like that, that's actually another advantage you have.
Well, with me, I want to work remote so I can, as you see, because I'm trying to be able to travel. That's how with
like if you run like a remote agency where you get send plumbers, stuff like
possibly
that, like, management agency there, like be the first to do it. If it's not, you can get first.
Possibly, but here's the thing too. I'm gonna be honest. I don't know how old you are, Mel, but guys our age, they didn't really want to get their hands dirty like that. Especially, I know this brothers.
41, but I know. But yeah. It's not.
You said how old?
I'm 41.
How old are you? 41. I thought you were younger than that. But you see, it sounded like I thought you were a little bit younger. But in a good way, I mean. But yeah, man, they took a lot of the trades out of the schools by the time I graduated.
Yeah, they started doing that when I was in school. Yeah, like high school, junior high. Yeah, they started lessening the trades. Remember that if you're someone around my age and everything, GC and everything. Remember that blue card used to give out in the schools with check marks, everything, what trades you want, like economics or plumbing, everything. We waste our time filling out some cards, but they never put people in those classes. Period. Like, it was stupid. Like, why you had fill out these cards and you're not even in these classes? And these classes are actually more important than the ones we taking up from school.
The funny thing is, I used to because I'm doing security right now, but I used to do security in a particular shelter, right? And they showed they were saying they offered like free classes for plumbing. And I never seen how you can pull out the little tab for the phone number. I would never see no one ever pull out the tab for the phone. Like it used to be filled with the number on it. No one will pull it off. And I'm thinking to myself, like, if you're in a shelter and they're giving free classes for plumbing and welding, why don't you pick that up? Like, you know what I mean? That's easy money right there. Like you can learn how to be a welder in less than 2 years.
Damn.
Less than having a community college degree.
See that?
Yeah, when my black male plumber left with my $1,800, the water heater was like $780, and the rest was his. Yeah.
And that's the funny thing too. You don't even have to do when plumber, like you can do different things. It's not you're always cleaning up after toilets and stuff like that. You could just be working on boilers. And you could just be specialized in boilers. You don't never have to touch and too crazy, like fecal matter and all that stuff. You could just be working on boilers and get good grip.
And real quick, guys, because I know Classy and Mel said they had something to ask Pablo, and we're almost at the 2 hour mark. So let's
Okay,
start
go ahead.
with Mel. Yeah, he said, go ahead. Go ahead, Mel.
I think I'm gonna answer.
Good, man.
It's the marriage rate. Yeah, I was wondering why their men over there not marrying the children that they pregnant over there in high numbers.
Couple reasons: economics
Yeah.
and the Catholic Church. So here, the Catholic Church, they really make it difficult to quote unquote get a divorce,
Oh, I
right?
know. You know that. Yeah.
Right. So there's that. The other part is the economics of it, because this is like like a daily survival type of place. Not for everybody, but for a lot. They've just taken to saying, you know what, we together, that's it. And so, like I said, they have a lot of cohabitation. So when you see the single mother rate, please understand that a lot of that are probably half, if not more than half, are still cohabitating or living with the father of their child. Um, and there's another percentage, like I said, that still live at home with their families, meaning dad, uncles, brothers, whatever. So it's not the same dynamic as you see in the United States, where you have a bunch of single mothers living alone in apartments with children. That's not a thing here.
Okay, so that answer your question, Melly Mel?
Yeah.
All right. Thanks for that. And Classy, you said you had a question for Pablo?
Well, not really, but I'll go ahead and ask this question. Although the job that I work at pays pretty well, but I'm also one of those type of wolves that I eat what I kill. Would you recommend doing digital nomading for traveling as well, just from your opinion's sake?
Absolutely.
Okay.
That is the number one. I did a poll on my channel about the passport bros, about what kinds of work are they doing, how much money do they make, um, what are their reasons for traveling, and so uh, over the majority were in IT. The majority worked in IT. The next was like military. They were either retired military guys or some semblance thereof. One of the other third or fourth largest contingent of passport bros are truck drivers.
That's true.
So between the former military guys, the truck drivers, and the IT guys dominate the professions of the passport bros. So these are guys that are making, mostly all of them, over 60K. You're talking about 80 something percent. That's over 60 up to 100 plus. And so they're those kind of guys that have the kind of jobs that are not flashy to the average woman when you say, well, I'm a truck driver. Well, yeah, but most of the long haul truck drivers and the guys driving the big rigs, overwhelming majority of them clearing 60K, you know. Um, so there's that. And then you have, like I said, the guys that are in the military, the police officers, the firefighters, those guys. Those guys making 60, 75, 80K a year. They got high stress jobs. They can build up a lot of leave time because they work for the government, and they can take off for week or 2 weeks at a time because they can work other shifts and double shifts and all of that. So they're guys who have flexibility to increase their income, and also flexibility for time off because they can work more. Because trust me, I used to be a deputy sheriff. I can pick up somebody's shift. I can say, hey man, you want me to work for you? If you pay me back on this is such a date, let's do a shift change. And those dudes will do 3 or 4 or 5 of those shift changes, and before you know it, they done pull piece together 2 weeks of leave, and they don't even have to take a vacation day.
That's true.
So yeah, so they're in a unique position where they can take long periods of time away, earn extra money, and all of that. So and the truck drivers, I knew a guy, my friend Mervin. He's a truck driver. when he was dating his wife, the one I told you about that was in the Dominican Republic, living in the mountains.
Mm-hmm.
He had gotten a divorce, sold his house, and he just lived on the road. Those trucks got sleeper cabs. He was
Yes.
either in the sleeper cab, or he was in a hotel, and he would do that until he would, build up enough money and time or what, so he could say, okay, I'm gonna go away. He would go down there. He would spend time with his woman for 2 and 3 weeks at a time, and he would go back and rinse and repeat.
That's actually smart.
Yeah. So, and he didn't buy a house until he decided he was going to marry her again. He was going to marry again, and then he bought a house in Metro Atlanta, out in the suburbs, and then he married her and bought her here, and they still together.
Nice, very nice.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, sir. I appreciate that.
Yeah, I heard some pushback though from the Passport Bros when I dipped in for a second. What was the pushback?
Well, I think the original pushback from a lot of people, I'm not saying everyone on the panel, I'm just saying is
right. Those guys seem to be gone.
The whole sex tourism thing, and everybody in the country is all broken poor. There's like nobody that's lawyers and doctors. They just scrape up mud off the ground. You hear the same junk all the time.
Yeah,
that's how you know those people don't travel a lot.
Yeah. Exactly, because they haven't seen it yet. Let me tell you about this city, man. Yeah. When I got to Colombia, one of the reasons Colombia is now my favorite is because of how cosmopolitan it is, because of the infrastructure that's here. High-speed internet, highways, skyscrapers everywhere. As far as the eye can see is 40-story buildings. Yeah, this is
How was the
not
real
like,
estate?
ain't no Stone Age. Look, I met a guy. To answer that question, I met a Black American guy. He's 70 years old. He's been living here for 11 years.
Mm-hmm.
He told me I could get an apartment in like a strata 5 for $100,000. But like buy the condo, like buy it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the equivalent, I would guess, of living in, I wouldn't say, what's a high, upper middle class apartment area in New York City? Tribeca?
I don't know.
Yeah, that's super. I would say, yeah. That's Tribeca is like South Manhattan. Yeah, I would say that, or like possibly maybe like Williamsburg.
Okay,
What up, Young
it would be the upper middle class equivalent high rise in New York City, because it's 3 million people here in the city of Medellin. So, like I said, it's a big city, and so I'm getting like a gym, a pool, a balcony with a view of the landscape here is just amazing to look at night. So you're getting 24 hours.
Oh, what happened?
Damn, he's speaking too much realness. They had to take him off.
Oh man,
Pablo, come back. He'll be back. Can
I say this? I want to add to what he was saying though. To anybody that has,
I'm sorry. Excuse me, 1 second. Blue, that's not Young East.
Yeah, I was trying
Oh, shit, it's not?
No.
Wow.
Oh, you know what it is? Young East is the one with the little Chucky avatar, right?
Yeah, that's him.
You know
Yo,
why?
you kind of sound just like him.
You know why? Because we both from New York. That's why. We both from
Where
New
you
York.
from?
I'm from Brooklyn.
Right.
He from New York too. That's why.
Oh,
All right,
wow.
I'm back.
Pablo, are you in Medellin?
Yes, I am in Medellin right now.
Yes,
My
there's a
Airbnb.
lot of beautiful structures there. You're right about that.
It is.
So is it a place that you, someone from the States would want to retire? Or more or less
Yes,
invest?
there are a lot of American expats here. A lot.
No, I know that. I know it's a lot of people like outside the country. They go out there, they get to a certain age and just go out there and chill out.
Yeah, because it's getting to the point now you're not going to be able to retire in the United States.
Yes, I
Because
agree.
most people don't have pensions anymore. They're giving them the 401ks and the 457s or whatever if you work for the government, and that ain't gonna be worth shit.
So let me ask you a question. based on your experience, what's the difference from like Dominican Republic as far as retiring there and retiring in that country where you at now?
Colombia.
So I'm gonna give you the pros and the cons. I'm gonna give you the pros and the cons of DR. DR still has like some third world infrastructure issues. The power
You
goes.
ever heard of Boca Chica?
I know Boca Chica very well. The power goes out all the time. You got to buy this thing in your house called an inverter. It stores up
Mm.
power. When the power goes out, boom, you still have lights for a while until the battery runs out, and then you back in the dark. So that happens frequently in Dominican Republic. Outages. Um, the other thing is infrastructure, the roads, the highway systems, the orderliness of things. Things are very haphazard and I want to say disorderly sometimes, but they make sense of it, right? The positives, the food. Oh my God,
Oh
Dominican
God.
Republic, the food is fire.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it
I can only
is.
Fire.
imagine.
Ooh.
I love
The beach,
Spanish food, man.
the atmosphere, the whole vibe of it all is hard to beat. Now, here's the Colombian pros and cons. Colombia, the pros is the weather, particularly in Medellin, is always springtime here. Yeah, it ain't hot, it ain't cold. To most Americans, this is never cold. You know what I'm saying? And this is always almost perfect weather if it's not raining, because it's a city in the mountains and rainforest. So there's that. The weather's perfect. If you go to Cartagena, it's tropical. It's like being in DR. It's on the beach. It's you got the ocean. It's humid. It's hot most of the time. So
Hmm.
there's that. But in Colombia, it's a bigger country than DR, and so you have a greater
Okay.
Infrastructure.
you have a larger, more diverse population.
Hmm.
Like
Okay. Understood.
when I leave here, I'm about to go to a Japanese restaurant that's run by a Japanese person. I'm about to
What,
go
Okay.
get
what's
some
the name of
ramen.
it, Pablo?
Give me a second.
Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to put you on the spot. I was just curious.
It's called Doraku.
Doraku.
Douraku. Doraku.
Okay.
It's
Now
ramen.
how long?
It's
Now how long have you been in that country?
well, I don't live here, but I visit here frequently. I'm probably here 4 or 5 times a year since 2018.
Mm.
Yeah, I'm here 4 or 5 times a year since 2018. So I'm here for 12 days. I come here for like 2 weeks every Christmas. I come in between time. I come the other 4 times. I come for probably 5 days, 6 days each.
Now you married out there, or you just go out
Well,
there?
well I'm not. Well, I made this announcement on my show the other day. I'm getting a divorce. My wife and I have been separated for a year, but I was
So
still
you
traveling when I was married. That wasn't
so
a thing.
you live out. Your wife was from out there. Y'all live out there. Y'all live in out
No,
in
my
the
wife was
country.
from Dominican. My wife was from Dominican Republic.
Okay, and where she's at now? You don't mind me asking? She's with you now.
She's in the States. She's in Atlanta.
So, oh, y'all getting a divorce?
Yeah.
Okay. Are you guys getting a divorce due to her being Americanized, like starting to being
No.
Well, that's
around
a good
American people?
question. That's a good question.
No. No. Actually, we're still cordial. We're not like Ike and Tina in it.
But I would
We've
think,
come
why
to
would you guys
it.
be getting a divorce? I
Wait,
would
wait,
think
hold
this
on.
is
Let him
that.
finish, and then you can finish asking him. Go ahead, Pablo. I'm sorry.
So the why is like a lot of people. Eventually, you don't have the same goals. You don't want the same things. You want to go left. She want to go right. So the why has nothing necessarily to do with her being a foreigner. It's
Hmm.
just that she have a different vision of where she wanted to go with her life than I had with mine. Now, I'm not perfect. I did my share of things that I probably should not have done. But she also did some of hers.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, we're still cordial and I want to say not. This is not a battle or a fight. We have come to an agreement. It's on paper. It is agreed to by both. We're not doing mean shit to each other. It's none of that. You understand what I'm saying? So
And then
it doesn't. It's interesting to me that Black American people always think that a breakup means that you hate the motherfucker, and I'm like,
No, I didn't think you hate her, but I get what you're saying. You just was just addressing that.
I guess you know what it is. I guess because people hear in the space a lot that men go overseas to find a better woman, submissive, and do it. She's way better than Black American.
Let me. She still is better than any other women I had before.
Right.
So why you guys can't make it work?
One, it takes two people to want to make it work.
Yeah.
Right. All right, but real quick, let me read this. Oh, I'm sorry, you were still talking. Go ahead, Pablo.
So what I'm saying is, I still because of my experience, I still will get married again. I still will get married again. And you see where I am right now. I'm in Medellin, Colombia. Do I look like I'm deterred?
Absolutely.
So you still so are you at this present time looking for a new wife? Is it safe to say?
Oh yeah. I will get a new wife. I mean, I'm not gonna jump into it, but I'll get married again, no doubt.
Okay.
I have a question for you, Pablo. Have you ever been married before?
No, that was my first marriage.
Oh, okay. So there was really no woman here in America worthy of that commitment, pretty much.
Well, I put it this way: there was some I wanted, but they didn't want me back. They gotta want me back.
Interesting.
That's a good point. Actually, I can understand that.
Right. There's a lot of.
Do you hear all those women on Kevin Samuel's show and you ask them? You say, "Have you ever been proposed to?" And they say yes. And you say, "Well, what did you say?" They all turned them down. Well, guess what? A lot of them not lying.
No, they're not. You're right. A lot of them are the ones that initiated the divorce or cut off the engagement.
Right. They don't. And thus my title of team players. They don't want to be team players. They want to be free agents. They want to be individuals. They don't want to play on the team.
Can't play with them. Can't win with them.
Can't win with them. Only
can't do it. Can't do it.
About the crazy. Oh, I'm sorry, Melly. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say real quick. Let me read these super chats. Hey, Auntie. I love me some Auntie. Thank you so much for that $10 super chat. He says, "Peace, sweet melody speaks. Salute to the panel and chat. And smash that like button, y'all. Please smash that like button. Because I saw it was a lot of people in here earlier and nobody pressed that like button. So hit the like button. It's very important. It's free. All you gotta do is hit it. And I know y'all like Pablo. So if y'all like Pablo and if y'all like me, hit the like button.
And if you like me,
let me ask Kevin real quick. Kevin Murray says, "If good men like Pablo is getting a divorce, then I know I'll stay single." Hey man, appreciate the shout out, but hey, listen, I'm not a Boy Scout, Kevin. I'm not a Boy Scout. That's all I'm gonna say about that. All right. Now, please know that sometimes the things that I do are in response to other things. So, I was not a perfect husband. I was not, but I wasn't a bad one either.
I appreciate that honesty, to tell you the
what
truth,
made you
because
not
it's
perfect?
rare.
No, we're not going there. No.
Same thing that makes everybody.
That's
Same thing that makes everybody.
Hey, the people got to learn, man. They got to learn from your mistake.
It's called being a human being. It's called being
we're not going there. You know, because if I
Pablo,
go
you
there,
funny.
because if I go there, then I go there, gotta do it. Well, okay, well, what did she do?
Hey,
No,
Pablo, you funny. You funny. He said, I ain't
no.
falling for the banana in the tailpipe.
Then I gotta say what she did and I did and you did this and I did that. No,
Yeah, don't do
Yeah, going down a
that.
rabbit hole. We don't want to do
yeah,
that.
I don't want to go through that.
All right,
Just
but
know
real
Mm.
this.
quick, let me read the second super chat. Thank you, Marvel318, for the $5 super chat. I really appreciate you. He says it's so refreshing to see a black woman channel that loves black men and that doesn't worship white men. You have a new fan of your channel. Oh,
Get them
thank
likes up if
you.
y'all feel like. Get them likes up.
Show your
Yeah, I know.
support.
Yeah, just
Right.
know this, people. I am okay with it. I am. Trust me, I'm okay with it. I am enjoying my life and doing my thing. And I guess my ex-wife, is doing what she want to do. Now, is her life as good as it was when it was with me? Hell no. She busting her ass, and I trust me. I've heard about it. So
I hate to be
my
so
situation is pretty damn good compared to her. She got to work twice as hard to compete with how she was living with me.
I hate to be so
And now,
cynical, but that
oh,
always
go
seemed
ahead.
to be the case. I'm sorry, Melody.
No,
Well,
sorry.
that's true. It is what it is.
Now, I wonder if she would go back to DR now that you and her are done.
My stepdaughter is an adult now. She's 19. And from what she told me, my stepdaughter wants to go back to DR. And she's planning and plotting and doing everything she can to get back. And of course, my wife is looking at the materialism of it all, but she doesn't understand that she got like a little factory job or whatever, and she don't understand that factory job she have is not going to.
It ain't gonna cut it in
It's
this
not.
economy.
It's not
Yeah,
gonna create the lifestyle.
it's not going to keep up with the cost of rent and all of that. She's renting a townhouse apartment or whatever. It's not going to keep up with what they got going
Now,
on.
That
can
should
I
be
ask you?
just as
Can I ask you a
transparent.
question?
Mm-hmm.
All
What
right,
do you do
excuse me.
for a
After
living?
you ask this question, let's go with Marty because he's been waiting patiently. Go ahead.
I'm a building inspector. I work for the city government.
Okay, bless you. That's what's
And
up.
I
That's
own
what's up.
I own some like Airbnb properties and stuff
Okay,
like that.
okay,
And
okay.
not
Congratulations to you.
and not
And
to
I
get
drive
into your
Uber.
business,
I do all of it.
Pablo. But
Congratulations to you.
and not to get into your business, but I also got to brag on it. Don't you say you manage your father's business too, right? So you're a man just blowing
Manage
out of
what?
control. You said you I think at one point in time you said you were also managing your father's business too, if I'm not mistaken.
No. Now my father passed away when I was like 10 years old.
I
He
think
owned a
you think
landscape.
about Chowhound. Chowhound.
Uh
Well,
No, not that wasn't
congratulations
me.
to you on that though.
Yeah, man. But no, and the reason I wanted to give full disclosure is because no, passport broing is not a guarantee. It's not a guarantee it's gonna work out. Some of them not. Some of the relationships not gonna work out because it's still men and women.
Yep.
It's still men and women. But I'll say this: I still I still like my chances abroad. That's why I'm still over here.
I
That's why
hear
I'm
that.
still I'm still doing it.
I mean, what they say the divorce rate for people internationally is less than 20%. So I mean, you got
Yeah,
you pull your chances.
it's
It's about
20%
15%.
compared to
Yeah,
20% compared to 50%. That's a 30% difference. So yeah, yeah.
yeah. I would take those chances. I mean, from my experience, even for example, I went to Mexico in September. Like when I was talking to the women there, like in terms of like shopping and stuff like that, they were just so soft spoken. Like I had to tell them, like, "Oh, I can't hear you. Can you say that again?" You know, it's like the vibe is different from the woman. Even here, the most quote
Well, let
unquote
me
feminine woman or just a super can be still have an aggression to them. You know. I'm sorry, Pablo.
Well, let me give you a number. Let me give you a number and an example to give you an example. So I had my Facebook group, American Black Men Married to Foreign Women. I formed that group back in 2015 on Facebook. We were like less than 100 guys. Now we're almost 300. Well, guess what? Of all of those guys, only two of us have gotten a divorce or separated from our wives. Myself and another guy named
That's
Andrew, and that's
exceptional.
it.
That's
Right, and
exceptional.
that's it. That's exceptional. So you think I ain't backing out here and back in it? You damn right, because the odds are still in my favor.
Amen to that.
Mm.
That is true.
My experience, my experience, even though it didn't work, quote unquote, it wasn't a quote unquote bad experience to the point where
Gotcha.
I'm bitter and I'm angry and I'm pissed off
Facts.
Gotcha.
because my wife is doing some evil under. Man, you know I got a friend. He's married to an ADOS American black woman. They adopted a child. Do you know she is divorcing him and she is trying to
Damn, they got him again.
God. Come back,
See,
Pablo.
He'll be
the
back,
sisterhood got him. The sisterhood got him.
He'll be back. But when he comes back after he tells his story, it's Marty's turn because he's been patiently waiting to go.
Marty, what's up, Marty?
Yeah, what's up, everybody?
All right.
Hold on
I
one
see you got
second.
the fine thing going across the screen. Okay.
Yeah, little something receipts, little something.
Where that's at, Marty?
Oh, that's at
Medellin.
Medellin.
Medellin. Oh wow.
But real
Yeah.
quick, before we continue, thank you, Azriel, for that cash up. I really appreciate you. And let me shout out to Gold Professor because I missed your last cash app. Thank you so much from the last show.
Yeah,
So
so as I was saying, my friend that's married to an ADOS American black woman, they adopted a child, right? Because they couldn't have children, but they adopted the child. Do you know she is trying to keep him away from the damn adopted child? Now that they're getting a divorce and she's dragging him, doing all kinds of mean and nasty tricks and stuff in the court system to try to, thwart his ability to raise the kid.
Wow.
And so, and I have a stepdaughter. My that's just my stepdaughter, and my wife don't do that. And I raised the girl since she was 8 years old to now she's 19. And I just saw her last week by myself.
yeah.
So that's the difference.
You know what the difference is,
the attitudes and the vindictiveness is the difference. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The ability to compromise like adults, even when the shit don't work. It's not when it does work. When it does work, yeah, it works. But when it doesn't work that these big cultural differences show up.
You know when I realized what the difference is that regardless of what happens, there's still a level of respect from both parties. And you've said it before. You've said it before. I'm sitting there and said it before. And it's he made a comparison. He was like, why is it that with Bezos and Bill Gates, like you heard about the divorce, but it wasn't nothing messy or nasty or whatnot. It seemed like whenever there's like a black divorce, it got to be put in the tabloids, and then
right, it's got to be some fighting and some
nasty.
And
then one side is trying to up the other, one side is throwing shade. It's like it's a mutual agreement to part ways, and you still maintain a level of being cordial, right? And I believe that stems from, to be honest with you, what Kevin would talk about, a low level of contentment, of contempt, right? So the contempt is from before the marriage, during the marriage, and then it just ramps up after the marriage,
Yeah.
Well, yo, guys, I know, Mel, you've been going for a long time. I'm about to dip out and hit this ramen restaurant.
Okay. I think Marty wanted to ask you a question before you go. Is that okay?
Yeah. What's up, Marty?
Hey, what's
Marty.
up, Pablo? How you been?
I'm doing great, man. What's good? Marty out here in these international streets.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'm about to open up another market in Panama.
Okay.
Which is because I have family out there, so one of my family members is selling me one of their properties for a very good rate. So I'm gonna set up shop up there. I'm gonna still be hitting Colombia, but it'll be like a midway point now. So I can go from Panama to Colombia is a short plane ride, you know. But so I still have to learn all about Panama. I did hear you mention, you said you had a strata 5 apartment for a condo for like 100,000.
Well, this guy, this guy, she says he's an expat. He's been here for 11 years. That I met in Sweet Georgia Cafe.
Yeah,
He mentioned that you can buy a condo for 100K. I think it was stratified maybe for. Does that sound accurate or no?
it depends on square footage and amenities. You know what I'm saying? Like, depends on what, like, you know, storage area, car, spot,
Right.
or pool, gym, elevator, doorman. It really depends, because I'm honestly, I was looking for a spot in Colombia for a minute, because you know that over there they don't do mortgages, so you really got to come all cash.
Right. You gotta come with cash. Yeah.
Yeah, and I was looking at like Evangado, Rio de Negro, La Aurelis, but it was like,
I love Laurelis. Laurelis is where I want to be.
yeah, it was just, for me, I was finding a lot of spots in Laurelis without an elevator though. I was like, man, I can't, you know, because I would need a penthouse, but I don't want to walk 5 stories every time I need to, you know.
Oh, yeah. Plus the hills. If you walk in hills too.
I got a question for you guys. Now, when you say cash,
Go ahead, Blue.
when you say cash, you mean like actual cash or cash money in the bank? I just wanted to know.
Yeah, you would have to wire them the money.
Yeah.
Okay, that's all. I just wanted to get. Okay.
It's a straight, because the thing about it over there, they will hold on to a property and it doesn't even matter if it's empty and they're not even making money on it. They will not sell it because it's already paid off.
Mm-hmm.
Right? They probably bought the property when it was like 15 years ago, probably like $20,000, right? But today it's probably worth, I mean, depending on what floor, what area, it could be worth like 250 and higher. But so they want 250. They want it all in cash. They don't want mortgage payments. And you can't even really get a mortgage over there. And even if you did, it would be like 9%. It was ridiculous. So it's really, you have to, me personally, like, you can get an apartment in a decent area probably for like 60 to 80 grand. And you know, it'd be nothing wrong with it. Probably be like 2 to 3 bedroom, nice living room. But me, I'm trying to go for a certain aesthetic. So for me, everything I was looking at was like 350 to 550 ish, sort of. But they wanted all cash, and it was just like difficult to. I mean, then you can do new construction, but they want 30% down, and then probably at completion they want the rest. And I found a couple of people that would front you the rest of the money, like 50% of whatever the cost is, and the interest rate was probably like at maybe like 12%.
12%.
Yeah, I mean, it was real high, but there's a couple of, you know, but I was like, you know what? But then when I got turned on to the Panama situation, and I found out how expat friendly it is, because when I was looking into like settling down in Colombia, they were like, the new laws came in effect where if you wanted to get your permanent residency, one of the ways you can get it was you had to be there for 5 years, 6 months out of the year, for 5 years straight. And I was like, that's a lot of commitment for 5 years. I was like, I don't know if I want to do that. But in Panama, if you if you spend a certain amount of money on property, or if you make a certain amount of money over the threshold, they give it to you automatically. And then once you got it, because Panama operates off the USD, you could get loans over there at especially if you're a citizen or a resident, at extremely low rates, because they're investing in their whole infrastructure right now for tourism. So I did like a bunch of research, and I was like, oh shit. I said, okay, Panama is definitely for me, the way to go to in terms of investment. It's much easier to get a place over there. Even though Colombia is dope, I was like, I would want to be permanently somewhere, but Colombia is like, they got a lot of weird visa stuff going on right now with the new president. So, but yeah, that content's coming soon. Once I get over to Panama, I'm gonna start shooting some content, for y'all.
Yeah, and if you're not subscribed, go over and subscribe to Marty McFly. Marty does some real good, interesting Passport Bro response type videos. I've been beeping you out, Marty.
Yeah, I've been putting some. Listen,
Yes.
last 5-6 videos, I've been putting some production value into the edits, and I was talking with Edward Anderson. Like, I'm halfway to being monetized in terms of watch hours, and relatively within a month, because you got to hit that 4,000 hour mark watch time. So these 5 videos that I put out, man, it's skyrocketing. So I'm just like, all right, I'm gonna just keep, doing.
Do you have the subscriber count? You have 1,000 subscribers?
I'm almost there. I'm like 833.
Okay,
So,
we need to get you over the hump.
Yeah,
So
I just need to get over this little hump. Yeah, check out I because my videos are like, and I'll give you a story. Everybody who knows Jamal, Jamal is like my editor. It's kind of like how O'Shea has Dima. I got like a Jamal.
Yeah.
Right.
Let me tell you something. People tune in for the update. Oh, like, what's Jamal doing now? Like, I gotta figure out. So Jamal.
I might need Jamal to do some work for me, because I got this video that I've taken, while I'm here in Medellin with of my experiences and travels and stuff. I tried to give it to SKC, but SKC wants to do what SKC want to do. He don't want to do what I ask him. And that's cool. But when I want the video that I want done, I need somebody to do it.
I mean, send me a message or something, and then we see we can work out. Maybe we can work it out where Jamal does an edit for Pablo Escobar, Frescobar, and we can work that into the storyline somehow. Like, yeah, definitely.
Your photography skills of your time in Medellin is legendary, bro. Among the Passport Bro community,
man,
these images you see, Marty is a known entity.
They don't know. These little videos is not really nothing. This is like something and if I was to shoot video today, I'm so much better at it. But my photography, man, it's
you're next level, bro.
It's sick. Like, people don't understand. Like, when I be talking my shit, and I'll be like, listen, man, like, I'll be on that, and then see, check this out.
And you know how women down here love the camera. They love it. Somebody asked me the other night, how did you get her to pose for that, to take video? I'm like, I just asked.
It's easy. Yeah.
It's like it's competition for them, because they want to one up the next chick.
Yeah.
So any thing that they can do to be like, I'm better than you, and so I'm bringing that high quality 4 to 8K video quality, photography, editing. I'm bringing the whole package over there, and these women are just love. And then I bring the whole experience. Like, when I do like my little photo shoots and stuff like that, especially when I go back there, there's gonna be a lot of behind the scenes stuff. But it's it's food, drinks, everybody's having a good time. But when I go back this time, I'm going to hire 1 to 2 personal assistants. It's this girl she's like a white Colombian. I got this girl who's actually a black Colombian who actually is a model, and I'm gonna work them both. So I'm gonna get the black Colombian so I can have, because a lot of people tell me, oh, I want to see some black girls, blah blah blah. All right, cool. I'm gonna get a black girl who works with a lot of black agencies that are professional models, and then I'm gonna have the white girl to give me the white, and I'm gonna bring them both together. So I'm gonna have all professionals, because all the girls that I work with was just like girls that I know, like regular girls, but they look so good. They look like models. But now it's gonna go up to another level. You're gonna get real Colombian models. We're gonna have a real makeup artist, and so it's gonna be like behind the scenes. I'm gonna be doing podcasts. I'm gonna have some of the girls, like 1 or 2 girls, Tuesday and Thursdays, answer questions. It's gonna be like a whole thing. You know what I'm saying? So so basically the whole thing right now is to get me monetized. Like, I'm almost there with the videos I put up. I got like halfway to the 4K, and I'm almost to the 1,000 subscriber mark. So I'm trying to just get over that hump, and then boom, once I go back to Colombia and then Panama, because I'm trying to fly a couple of girls from Colombia to Panama, and then we're gonna hit like a couple of beaches in Panama, and we're gonna do a couple of shoots on the beach like that. It's gonna go to the next level.
Oh, that's cool. I
Yeah,
can't wait to see that.
yeah. I'm telling you. And Melody, you follow me on IG, right?
Yes, we follow each other. Yeah.
Okay. Wait, send me your. I don't think I follow you. Send me your if you follow
Wait,
me.
I'm sorry. I don't. I'm sorry. That's your YouTube page.
Yes. Did I send you my IG?
No, email it to me, or you can put it in the chat, and everybody follow him. How about that? Is that okay?
Well, see, I got some weird dudes. You know, I don't want to get everybody following me on IG, but I think I emailed you my IG.
Okay, email.
Well, I'll email it to you again if you if you didn't get it, I'll email it to you again. But follow me so you can see what I'm talking about in terms of like photography. And then the craziest thing about it, Pablo, people don't know like I actually do music production. Like that's like the number one. Like the photography stuff and video, I kind of picked it up later on, but I really do like music production for artists and movies and TV shows, and that's like the main number one. I kind of just fell into like photos and videos as things went like more social media, and I just kind of liked it. But I really get off. Matter of fact, Keep It 100. You know Keep It 100? Everybody know him?
No, I haven't heard him.
Yes, I know Keep It 100. He's on Bernard's panel sometimes. He does stuff with Edward, and he does stuff with BGS every now and then. Yeah.
Well, yo, guys, I gotta go. I gotta go before this restaurant closes so I can get my ramen.
Okay.
Thanks for coming.
All right, man.
All right, good seeing you.
Thanks, sir.
Yeah, like Keep It 100. He's like a he had a magazine in New York, and now he's in Las Vegas. He goes back and forth, but that's like my guy. So we both do photos and video. So I told him too. I was like, yo, I really do music. And he was like, word. And so I sent him like 10 tracks, and he was like, yo, he was like, Marty's the truth when it comes to the music. Like, I do everything: movie scores, hip hop, R&B, pop. He was like, yo, if you ask him, like, yo, is this guy Marty like for real? He's like, yo, like he's the truth. So that's what what I really do. So now it's like I'm kind of dabbling with the algorithm with YouTube, and everything is like going crazy with the numbers. And I'm only like really like 5 videos in deep. So I'm hoping by the end of next month I can have everything to the point where it's monetized. And I just want to keep growing. Like I might do like a couple of reaction videos. I'm messing with the algorithm because you kind of got to find your footing. Like you don't know what's going to take off. Like, you know, Melody, like sometimes you do a topic and it's more popular than others. So it's like the same thing with like establishing your channels, because I kind of want to do like what I'm doing now, but then I'm going to pivot once I'm like overseas to like almost like a travel blog behind the scenes of like photo shoots and traveling on the beaches. Like that's where I'm going to pivot it to. So it's going to be a journey. It's going to be up and down journey. So it's going to be crazy. But before I go, hopefully me and you get together for that photo video shoot.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Definitely.
You gotta let me know. I don't know. Yeah, you know, sometimes girls, you know, I've been doing this for so long. Sometimes girls be like, oh, I want to get in tip top shape, you know. So some girls want to spend like 4 weeks getting, you know, the body right or whatever.
I told you that. Yeah, I was like, I'm trying to get down to 125 first.
Yeah, I understand.
I'll definitely do it.
Yeah, because you wanna be. The camera's gonna add 10 pounds. So if you're 125, it's really gonna look 135, and then you want to just tighten up whatever areas you feel like self-conscious about. You know what I'm saying? Like all girls do this. It's nothing new. You know what I'm saying? So just whenever you get ready, I know we about to hit the winter in New York. So probably after what are we in December? Probably like sometime after January. Probably be best.
I'd rather do it like March if that's okay, around my birthday.
She want to get out in the springtime.
Oh, she want to let it loose for the.
Spring up on you niggas in the springtime. I hear that, Melody. All right,
Yeah, it's gonna be fire. I can tell you right now. Y'all gonna be surprised. I already know. And then we just gotta figure out location. We can do a guerrilla style in the city. Anywhere, like we can get a studio, rental studio, and then we can go in the city and do something at night, like some video. Like it's so many possibilities. We just gotta talk about it. That's all. But yeah, man,
Yeah.
go to the channel, subscribe, share the videos. I got some funny stuff. It's kind of like a mix between like how I talk usually, but I got a storyline in the beginning. So it'd be like I don't know if you know about O'Shea Do Jackson.
Yes.
So I kind of like his stuff. So you kind of see like a little bit of flavor on how he puts his videos together. Yeah, check it out. Comment, talk your shit. I love it all. I respond to every comment. It's all good.
I'm gonna go ahead and subscribe.
Oh, that's just
Yeah,
up.
everybody subscribe to Marty McFly. If you're
Yeah,
not
man.
already, make sure you subscribe. Get him to 1,000 because I want to see these photo shoots.
Yes.
Dope.
Every
Very-
comment I reply to, so I'm active immediately. Like I'm people that subscribe to my channel, and then once we go further along, I'm gonna start posting photos. Like it's like a maybe like a photo slide where you could see like a couple of pictures from the shoots I do with some music. It's gonna be high quality stuff. You're gonna see like the last 5 or 6 videos I did. The quality of the edits is just getting better and better. So because I'm kind of new at it, so every video is a little bit better. That's all.
Right. Well, thanks for that, Marty. So I'm going to have final thoughts and words, and then I am closing down. I'm almost at 3 hours. So I want to start. Let's start with Blue because you've been quiet. What are your final thoughts and words? You there, Blue? Okay, so he's probably asleep. I don't know. But
I'll go real quick. I'm gonna be short and sweet to the point. Thank you for having me on, Melody. This was great. Keep up the good work. I'm proud of what you're doing here. It's fantastic. I need you guys to stop over talking her and let her and stop trying to disrupt the chat. Disrupt the panel. Be a little bit more civilized. I'm teasing. But thank you for having me on here. Just keep up the good work, and I'll catch you guys later. Be safe and happy holidays if I don't hear from you guys.
Happy holidays.
Happy
Same
holidays.
to you. Thank you. I appreciate that. Okay, let's go with Classy. You have any final thoughts and words?
Well, my final thoughts is to the people. I have a lot of questions about traveling. I think a lot of people they probably really want to travel, but there's some scarcity behind it. Don't let the scarcity of what people say on YouTube deter you from wanting to get outside of America to see, different people, see different sceneries, learn about the history of the country. Like try to be a little bit more adventurous, and don't get so caught up in being into this whole ordeal of just try everybody that travels that happens to be an African American is going to see women for sexual things. That's not always true. Like for me, for example, I love being able to travel to see different monuments, different historical sceneries, different beaches on how people move, learning different languages, eating different food that's more healthier than what we eat here in America. That it can be very exuberant. Sometimes traveling can be a huge stress reliever as well. So I would like to tell everybody that's maybe interested in traveling, don't let scarcity keep you from going. Live your life. You only have it one time. Thank you very much.
That's it. One life to live. Better enjoy it. Thank you for that, Classy. I really appreciate it.
All right, thank you.
All right. Marty, I know you just spoke,
Yeah.
but do you have any final words or thoughts?
2023 is coming along. I predict the economy is about to squeeze itself moving into 2024. Best thing you can do is stack your bread, get multiple streams of income, and do something that plans for the future so you can work abroad and live abroad permanently. And that's what I'm about. I'm going to show y'all. Trust me when I tell you, like it's coming. Like a few months, I'm gonna be out there. You're gonna see step by step. I'm gonna get a property. I'm gonna show you the before. I'm gonna renovate it, and I'm gonna show you the after. It's gonna be nuts. You're gonna see.
I can't wait to see. That's dope. Can't wait. I really hope I wish you the best. And honestly, I wish every man in the chat, man on the panel, the best. And do what's right for you. If you have to go overseas to succeed and get better women, better opportunities, better jobs, by all means, go overseas and be the best person you can be. And that's coming from the bottom of my heart. Like, I hate when people be on here trying to discourage you guys from traveling, and living your best life. I tell my brother all the time, I'm proud of you. Keep traveling, keep doing you, because he has a passport and he goes to a lot of countries. And he don't date black women, and I don't blame him. I know it sounds bad, but I'm kind of happy he don't date black women because I know how black women will treat my brother. So, get out there, do you. That's all I gotta say. And Game Changer, you there?
Yeah, I'm here, Melody.
All right, so what are your final thoughts and
Gr-
words, and then we're gonna shut down.
Yeah, great show, great interview. Salute to Pablo for having this interview, picking the topic and everything. So yeah, it was nice to see. Marty, I might have to talk to you about the music thing sometime very soon. So I'll get at you about that.
Okay, no problem.
Yeah, great show again, Melody.
Thank you. I do appreciate it. Oh, I have another person coming up before I shut down. Hi,
Oh,
Auntie.
what's up, Melody? How you doing? I didn't know you was about to shut. My bad.
No, it's cool. Since you're up here, I'm gonna give the mic to you. What's going on?
All right. No, yeah, thanks for having me up. You know, I love your show. And no, I mean, look, I don't have a problem. I encourage every man to travel as well. You know what I'm saying? But don't do it for women. You know what I'm saying? You do it for yourself. You do that to become a more, you know what I'm saying, more well-rounded man, a more cultured man. You know what I'm saying? And do that to do business, make some connects. You know what I'm saying? Learn new languages, meet new people, just kind of understand how the world works. And hell, you might even be able to come back over here and find your woman, or you might find your woman over there. More than likely, she'll find you. But if you're only going somewhere to find women, chances are you'll just be a mark, just like you were a mark over here. So I don't think it's a, you know what I'm saying, don't date black women or anything like that. You know, I have no problem dating black women. And I'm like this. I know some of them can be full of shit and crazy as fuck, and they could just, you know what I'm saying, just be off they fucking nut. But that's when I just don't deal with them no more. I have no problem cutting them off. I just get another one. You know what I'm saying? It makes me no different. You know, so there's just certain things I won't tolerate no matter what. And I think more dudes just need to be like that. Like, look, if you're not gonna tolerate that bullshit, then you're gonna find a woman that won't put you through that bullshit. And you know what I'm saying? It just kind of is what it is.
Exactly. So you don't find westernized. I'm not going to say black women, because when we say Western, we mean all nationalities of American women. You don't find Western women difficult, then, do you?
I mean, they're only difficult if I choose to deal with them once they become difficult. If that makes sense. Like I lay down specific ground rules off top, and I just understand the nature of women, period. For the most part, they're gonna test their man. They're gonna test the man that they're with. They're gonna try you. So they're just, I mean, you can't deal with a woman the way you would deal with a man. You can't just buck up. You can't just knock them the fuck out or anything like that. Like, you're gonna have to use your tone, your infraction, or sometimes just a look on your face to just let them know, like, look, I'm not putting up with this shit. Like, I can replace you in a minute. So you're either gonna show me respect or you're gonna get on the other side of that door, the big one with the lock on it. That's simple. I'm not putting up with it. You know what I'm saying? And it's amazing how, you know what I'm saying, the woman that, not every woman is going to fall in line right there, but the woman that's for you will.
Exactly. Thanks for that. Because they do say, overseas it's a lot easier to talk to these women. They're not a lot nicer. Shout out to Game Changer. They'll make you a sandwich with no back talk or no problem. So, I mean, and I kind of see that it is true. Because a lot of the women here in America, they'll be like, oh, no, you get it yourself. I ain't going to give you nothing. I worked all day just like you worked all day. You hear stuff like that here.
No, I will agree with that. I will agree with that wholeheartedly. Like, because over here on this side, women are kind of taught more to be our combatants rather than our compliments. You know what I'm saying? They're taught to compete with us. So, yeah. they're kind of culturally wired like that. And over there, you know what I'm saying, they're taught that a woman has a specific, you know what I'm saying, a specific place, and a man has a specific place. So I get it. It may be a little easier, you know what I'm saying, but at the end of the day, like y'all are women, y'all have antennas, so y'all can smell and feel the bitch in a dude. And if a dude comes off with that bitch energy, y'all will treat him like one.
Right.
And that goes for wherever y'all are from.
That's true. Not just, I get it, not just black women, westernized women.
Yeah.
All the same. Well, not all of us, but a lot of us are, you know. So
trust me, I've seen Puerto Rican women, Mexican women, Asian women, black women, white women. I've seen them all turn the hell up on a dude in public. You know what I'm saying? I've seen it. Yeah. If they don't, if a woman doesn't respect the man, she will do that. That's woman's nature.
Yeah.
You know?
I wonder why the women over here don't respect the men over here, though. Do you think there's like a reason for that?
Because men have become effeminized for the most part. Yeah. Like men have kind of been culturally wired over here to, I mean, the gender roles are kind of confused. So you have a lot more men acting like the woman in a relationship. That's one of the reasons why. And as women, y'all don't like that. Y'all want to be the only woman in a relationship. You know, so when a dude acts like more of a bitch than you know what I'm saying, he's more emotional than you, y'all lose respect for that. So these dudes, they be crying and all of that. I mean, you hear them all of the time. These dudes want to get married more than the women do. The women are like, they're ready. They doing more pumping and dumping than the dudes are doing.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? These dudes are crying when they get cheated on, left, or cussed out instead of just leaving that chick and moving on and finding another one.
Yeah, that's why they're going overseas. Reasons like that, right? That's what I'm thinking.
Hey, like I said, I feel like you work on yourself, and you know the right woman will find you. But I would never knock anybody for traveling. I just say do it for the right reasons. You know what I'm saying? If you're doing it just for women, you know what I'm saying, chances are if you were a mark over here, you're going to be a mark over there too.
True.
You can't be a mark anywhere.
Yeah, I agree. You gotta be a man, and that goes for everybody, black, white, Asian, and a woman gotta be a woman. You know, but I do feel like in some instances men are being men. It's just that the women want to be men too. Do you somewhat agree with that?
Absolutely. That's what I mean. The gender roles are confused. I'm gonna say that there's an issue on both sides of it. And yeah, this society over on this side is more catered to the women, where they can kind of get away with a lot more stuff. You know what I'm saying? They can get, you know what I'm saying? When she's tough, she's considered strong and independent and all of that other stuff. You know what I'm saying? But when he's in touch with his feelings, you know what I'm saying, it's like, nah, man up, dude. So I get it, you know what I'm saying? But that's no two things on this planet are equal. We can't expect equal treatment. And you know what I'm saying, women are going to get certain concessions. So as men, we need to understand that it's not our job to try to change the nature of women. And I don't think it's smart to try to run from it. We need to just understand, adapt, and adjust.
Oh, okay. So let me just, before we go, because this is getting interesting. Marty, do you agree with that? To just adjust?
Oh, which point?
What he just said about men shouldn't run from it. They should just like adjust to it.
Wait, I didn't hear like the full last sentence. Can you give like the whole context?
Can you repeat what you just said?
Absolutely. Like I say, I don't think men should be over here trying to change the nature of women, or you know what I'm saying, or even you know what I'm saying, run, you know what I'm saying, run or fly halfway around the world trying to get away from it. You're supposed to understand, adapt, and adjust. That's it. And it doesn't mean, hey, become the bitch in a relationship. What it means is, hey, if she's out of line, you're going to have to find more ways to get through to your woman, or just let her know, like, look, that's it. You talk to me like that, you treat me like that one more time, we're done. As a matter of fact, the last time you did it is the last time. Get out.
Yeah, dudes really got to put their foot down if they're gonna mess with the Western woman. Me personally, I'm hands off with the Western women. Like, I'm completely overseas now. But if you are gonna deal with the Western woman, then it's best to have your boundaries. And if she crosses that boundaries, you have to have enough options to say I'm on to the next and feel no way about it. And I think that's like, that's the problem with too many dudes. Too many dudes are acting in scarcity, so they feel they need to always be up under a female. I always take the approach like sometimes, let's just say if you're not financially, because I always bring it back to the money, and it's not to get women or anything like that. It's really just to put, I look at things on a global scale, right? I'm looking at you versus the Chinaman, you versus the Arab. You see what I'm saying? So I'm looking to compete on a global scale. I'm not worried about Tyrone down the block. So if you're not in that position to compete on a global level, because everything is global now, sometimes you might have to step away from the females for 6 months. Now, I know a lot of dudes are like, oh man, sometimes that's what you got to do to accomplish the goal. If that goal means getting a property, getting the down payment so you can invest in the property, so you can generate residual income monthly, sometimes you need to take no Jordans, no dates out for 6 months. I'm only saying this because these are some of the things I did to get in some of the positions that I've been at. Sometimes, because now on the other side of that rainbow is, guess what? Unlimited travel, access to more beautiful women than you can shake a stick at. Now, is that 6 months of grinding worth that? In my opinion, absolutely. But dudes have to get into that mindset. You have to say to yourself, it's not worth my time to invest into a well hole. I need to invest in myself. Once you invest in yourself, you become more attractive to not only the women in your neighborhood, but the women outside of your neighborhood. Now you have more abundance, you have more options. So, like he said, if a girl's out of pocket, you could just shut it down and feel no ways about it. That's the level of Super Saiyan every dude I think needs to get to. If they can just say, okay, you're not going to be on my program, it's cool. I'm going to talk to Sheila. That's going to make you more attracted to whatever chick you talking to. She might act right or she might not, but at the end of the day, you're still on your mission. So whether she gets on the program or not doesn't really affect your mission statement and what you're about to do. Because, you know, what you have to do is more important, because once you get to that level of, let's just say you invested in yourself where you're financially at a point where you're cool with yourself and you start traveling, now you'll understand like, oh shoot, I'm on this different plateau where I can move and shake and be in certain circles and be in certain neighborhoods and be in certain parts of the world and feel no ways about it financially. Like I can live in two nations at the same time and be comfortable. And I think a lot of dudes never get to that point, one, because they have kids and they put on child support. So that drains your resources. So now if you notice, a lot of dudes that are on child support, they don't have investments because they can't, because it's 17% or greater is going into the coffers of the state because they have to pay child support. So now you have 18 to 21 years now, because they extended it to 21 years of you can't really invest in nothing. So now by the time, let's just say you're 47 years old, now you're starting to invest. And it's like you're almost 50 years old. Life is almost over. You know, you could have been using all that time to invest in yourself. So long story short, invest in yourself. He's right. You know, you got to adjust and adjust to the market. The market is basically like the women are giving the power to be like men in terms of, you know, smashing dudes, like he said, moving on to next. The women are moving like men now, right? So you have to say to yourself, me personally, I don't want to deal with a woman that moves like a man. But if you are going to be in that realm, you got to just be like, how am I trying to explain this? You can't be the female in that relationship, because that's what's going on now. A lot of dudes are placating to the female, like her feelings are more important. What she wants to do, take her out. She's a boss bitch, but you have to spend your money on her. It's weird. So you just have to have your mission statement, your boundaries, and whatever you set. If they overstep at any point, like going in 60 seconds, you got to be able to walk away from any situation in 60 seconds or less without feeling no type of way. And once dudes get to that point, it'll change.
Yeah, and if I could just jump in before, because I know we got another panelist, bro, I agree wholeheartedly. That's what I'm saying, yo. If they're not about what you're on, man, get rid of them and get rid of them early. You know what I'm saying? That's the one thing you have in this world is a limited amount of time. Get rid of them early. Ain't nothing wrong with trial and error when it comes to women. You know what I'm saying? If only 20% of the women are good, that means you're going to have to date 10 of them to find 2 good ones. Or you might have to date 20 of them to find 4 good ones, or 100 of them, you know what I'm saying, to find 10 good ones. So whatever. I ain't got time to be wasting my time with some shit that ain't trying to hear it. You know what I'm saying? If you just that stubborn, man, get going. I ain't in the mood. But I agree with you, brother. Well stated though.
Right. No, you guys are spitting some facts. But thanks for that, guys. And we have Kingsport.
Kingsport, Calvin. I'm from
Sorry.
Kingsport. My name is Calvin.
Hey,
I'm from
Calvin.
Kingsport. I was on here once before. I seen you was on live. I just want to see what y'all was talking about. I didn't know what y'all was talking about, but when I popped in, dude was talking about child support. Look, man. I've been paying I'm still paying. My daughter is 19, and I've been paying child support ever since she was like 3. And I had to do some stints in jail and shit like that. So I got behind. But when she turned 18, it stopped. So now all I'm doing is paying the back pay, the restitution, whatever the fuck you want to call it. I don't know if we can cuss on here. Sorry, I can't remember. But yeah, I got to do that. Which is not that bad. I don't have that far to go. But that does put a financial strain on you. And but I set that up myself because I knew that things wasn't going right in relationship. You know what I'm saying? Things wasn't going right, and I knew eventually that something would happen. We'd have a blowout. We'd have an argument, some shit like that. So I went ahead and set it up. And she's like, "You ain't gotta do that. You ain't gotta do that." And I was like, "I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna go ahead and do it." And then like a year later is when everything blew up and we broke up. And I'm glad I went and done it on my terms instead of having her trying to force me to do it. You see what I'm saying? Because I knew she's going to come at me because she's going to come at me at any way. You know what I mean? So I went ahead and had it done so I could control it. But yeah, that is a problem. I mean, and it's not like I ain't there for my kid or no shit like that. You know what I mean? But as far as she's 19 now. She's doing her own thing. She's going to school. She's studying to be a nurse, just like her damn mama. Which I'm sorry, I don't want to keep rambling, but I was listening to you guys, but I have a few points. What was you gonna say?
No, I was saying no. I'm happy for her. She's doing really good. Good for her.
Yeah, she's doing good. She's doing great. She's got an apartment. The only thing is, she lives in the city. I'm down here in Tennessee. I'm in the country. She's in the country too. I mean, we both live in Tennessee, but she's in the city part of Tennessee. But the only thing is, she's 19 and she's afraid to drive. She won't even drive a car. She ain't even got her license. But she don't have to really. Yeah, she don't have to really in the country. In the city, because she can like Uber, Lyft, taxi, all that. You know what I mean? Which I did too when I lived up there as well. But it'd be easier if she had a car because she'd come down and see me more often instead of me having to go up there and pick her up and all that stuff. But anyway, y'all was also talking about what was it? Something about women, about trying to be boss bitches and shit like that. I don't care about that. Me personally, I like a sassy woman. I like that. I like a strong woman. But if you're going to be strong, you got to be able to take it. You know what I mean? I ain't going to baby you. I ain't going to talk to you. I'm going to, if you want to act like a man, I'll treat you like a man, and I'll fuck you like, you know what I'm saying?
But these women want to act like men, and then they want to get your protection at the same time. Like they want to be all up.
Yeah, it don't work like that.
No, that's what they want. And I'm not going to say black women. I'm going to say Western women, women here in America. This is how they act.
I'm not down with that. I mean, it's fine. Like I said, I love all women of all colors, all races, all creeds, whatever. I don't care. I think all women are beautiful. But if you wanna act that way, then don't expect me to. If you want to act like a lady, I'll treat you like a lady. You know what I'm saying? If you want to be babied and pampered and taken care of and all that bullshit, then I'll do that shit for you because because that's what you want, that's what you like, that's the way you like it. If you're gonna come at me like you are equal to me, which I'm not saying men are better than women, I'm not even fucking saying that. Don't you know what I'm saying? But what I mean is, if you're gonna come at me like that, then I'm gonna fucking treat you like that. But if you want to be a lady, then I could prefer either or. It doesn't matter to me, because like I said, I like women. But you can come. It all depends on how you want to approach it. I can accept either way, but don't expect, like you was talking about, Melody, like you was talking about, don't expect to come at me like a man, but then still be treated like a lady. You know what I'm saying? And
Yes.
that shit don't fly.
Yeah, then that's the problem with women. So, but I have to go. It's over 3 hours. Thanks for coming. I will
Yeah,
see you.
I didn't know. I'm sorry. I don't want to interrupt you. I didn't know. I didn't know. I just seen you was on. I was checking my YouTube and I was like, oh, that chick's on. But
No,
yeah,
thanks for
I,
coming. But listen, I'm usually on every Sunday and Tuesday. I just skipped this Sunday because I was busy. But make sure you come through like Sundays and Tuesdays. I'll be here. Come show some love.
I,
Oh, and if you have any topics for me, hit me up at sweetmelodyspeaks@gmail.com. Maybe we can
I,
collab and do a topic together. We can do reviews together. Auntie, I really want to get with you. I really, really want to get with you because look at you, cammed up. Salute to you. Two of y'all cammed up. Love it. Why y'all so handsome? Damn. No, but seriously.
I woke
Yeah,
up like this.
I know. I hear that. He's like, I woke up like this. This is what I look like. Yes. But
shit.
I'm hating
I
right
wake
now
up
because
fine.
right? But I'm hating because it looked like you warm out there. Where you
Yeah,
at?
I'm in Florida. It's about 72, 73 right now.
You lucky. It's
Damn,
like
son.
20. It's
It's
like 20
37.
over here.
Yeah, in
Oh,
the
where you
middle
at?
of
New York?
December.
Damn.
Yeah. So
Middle of
lucky
December.
you.
Well,
I'm jealous. But
yeah,
anyway,
a real stoic. Yeah. Anyway, but
like
yeah,
look at
I'll
me.
leave. Well,
I had to put my avatar up from the summertime with the shorts on because I'm so jealous. I want to be warm so bad that I have to pretend I'm warm. But thanks for coming, guys. Oh, and make sure you guys come through this Sunday. All right.
all
And T,
right.
we gotta meet up. Huh?
I subscribed, by the way, last time I was on. I see you pop up in my feed, but I just never really, I got other stuff I'm doing. But yeah, but I was just like, oh. So anyway, but I'll leave you guys alone. But yeah, you seem cool because I like it. I always get on and watch, but I see your topics and I see that you talk a lot about black issues, and I think that should be more embraced here on YouTube as it is this state as it is right now. I don't think that shit is talked about enough. But
Yeah.
yeah,
And I love
I
black
think that's
men,
cool.
so I was told I'm a pick me and I'm a pander because I love black men and I care about how y'all feel and y'all issues. So I've been called names
That's
for that,
cool.
but it's all good, you know.
Fuck them.
But,
You know what I
Well,
mean?
if I could say something before on that, and that's what a lot of women get pissed off about. I'm like, look, this is what I try to tell men. It's like, look, and this is something that even Kevin Samuel said. You know what I'm saying? And I understood. It's like women, for the most part, this is Western women, just like you said, they're kind of wired not to really give a shit how men feel or what they're going through. It's like, you know what I'm
yeah.
saying? Her emotions come first, second, third, and last. Yours don't come at all, ever. And then they're like, well, that's only because it's like, look, we just need to understand that shit. For the most part, women ain't gonna change that. So just understand, she didn't give a shit. You know what I'm saying? Most of them aren't going to give a shit. It's just society just tells them that why the hell should they? You know what I'm saying? So once you understand that, it's easier to move. But don't sit there and complain and expect them to change because, like, it's almost like asking
Yeah.
a fish to climb a tree.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, but I still like to speak on the issues. I know they're not going to change, but speaking on it, it just helps people. It's like therapy, It makes you feel a lot better about it, like, because I'm telling you, I've always been like different than other Black women growing up. I have been like, I've been quiet. I didn't like to argue. I don't like confrontation. I noticed both of them the same thing, but I just don't like it. So that's what made me stand out. I've always been quiet. And a lot of people didn't like me for that. A lot of Black women couldn't stand me because I was
Well,
just,
that's another thing they talk about. I know you're trying to end. I'm sorry, but that's another thing they talk about black on black crime and shit and
yeah.
haters. That's another thing. Women do the same thing. Black on black women. They get jealous if you're light skinned, if you're dark skinned, if your hair straight, all that bullshit. You know what I'm saying? They get all up on that. What the fuck? We gotta unite as a people, as opposed to trying to divide us. We're causing our own type of racism. I get a bunch of shit because I'm light skinned. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? High
Yeah.
yellow. I don't give a fuck. I'm still black. You know what I'm saying? Anyway,
Right.
I just think that's an atrocity. I think that shit needs to be erased. We should, if we talk about come together, we want to talk about some Martin Luther King bullshit. Then we need to fucking do. You know what I'm saying?
That's
We need to
never
do
gonna
it.
happen.
Stop
That's
hating.
never.
Stop hating on each other.
That's never gonna
Anyway,
happen. You know
Yo,
that's not gonna
yeah, I
happen.
know. I know that. I know that, and that makes me fucking sad. You know what I mean? Because I know that because I've seen that shit my entire life, and I know that ain't going to happen. And if it does happen, we won't see it. We'll be long and dead before that happens. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
whatever.
All of our men are gonna be gone. All the Black men are gonna be in other countries and leave us women here. All
Hey,
by ourselves.
or what they trying to do is put them in dresses, and that's the damn problem.
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
that
that
shit
too.
too.
Yeah, that too.
side
Absolutely.
topic. King, if you change your name to King Chappelle and you did like a show where you just going off, I think you would kill it. That's just my thought.
Uh,
God damn,
yeah.
man. Oh,
I whoever said that, I'm sorry, I didn't see that. Who was talking?
That
But
was
but
that's
Marty.
I've been
Marty.
I've been told that shit before.
Come
But
on, man. These bitches out of
yeah,
control.
yeah,
Yo, you
I've been told that shit before. But I ain't got time to fuck around on YouTube like that. You know what I mean? I like jumping in on people's shit and seeing what's going on and get my word in, whatever, and talk. I ain't got time to be messing with YouTube like that. But I've been told that before. You're not the only one,
I
just so
can
you
see it.
know.
I can see it.
I might think about it. I might think about it though.
Just do it for fun. Like, just do like a video with you just
Yeah,
talking 10 minutes and just call yourself King Chappelle. Trust me, it'll go.
that's a good idea. I'll think about it. I'll think about it. But anyway, at the same time, I know she's trying to end. I didn't want to come in and try to keep the shit going. So I'm gonna get out of here. It's good
Cool. I
talking to y'all.
joined.
And I would check you out. What'd you say? Sundays, Tuesdays?
Oh yeah, Sundays and Tuesdays, usually around
All right.
6, 7. But come through, we'll have fun. We can do fun streams. It don't always have to be like crazy,
Yeah, 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 yeah.
manosphere, red pill topics. I like fun too, but just guys, email me some ideas for topics. I'll be like so confused on what to do.
All right.
So
All right.
email sweetmelodyspeaks@gmail.com. All right. Peace, guys.
All right.
Good night. Peace.
Peace.